Nothing but blue wrenches.
Nothing but blue wrenches out there. And Ohio 45 ACP. Are we live? It didn't. Let's make sure we're live here. As it didn't. Yeah, we are live. Okay. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Get a bunch of links out. If anybody else wants to join, hop on in. If I missed anybody, give me a yell. I'll send you one. Honda, I don't have Honda's email, so if Honda pops in I got to get his email from him. He was on last week, so if he's looking to join, you guys see him, or you have an email for him. If you have his email, shoot him the link. Just send it straight to him. That's no big deal. Got a couple. Yeah, it's blue wrench heavy out there. Holy smokes! Look at all that. Holy cow! But Glimtech, what's going on, buddy? See you first.
Not a whole hell of a lot. Thank you for the invite. How's it going?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Gizzard, what's going on, buddy?
I don't know. I just come here for the beer and the excitement. But thanks for that. Yeah.
You might be out of luck, buddy.
Never. It'll get good here soon. I'm not. Yeah.
Gotta get warmed up.
That's right.
Snob, what's happening, dude?
Where are we at? Is this Obnoxious One show?
Close to it.
Oh, okay. Hey man, thanks for the invite. Glad I could be here and enjoy the wonderful closer tonight.
Absolutely. Ape, what's going down?
Oh, not much. Thanks for inviting.
No work tonight, huh?
Nope. Apparently, I worked goodly enough last weekend to where we were ahead.
Nice.
So they decided to take the time and tear apart one of the machines and fuck with it. So.
Yeah.
So that means you'll be off for the next month.
No, they had the parts in it. It's just getting it recertified to run the new process.
Ohio 45 out there says, Snob's wife. I see Snob post another picture of not your Kimber.
I hate everyone, by the way.
Yeah. I can't believe she hasn't bludgeoned you in your sleep yet.
Well, the good news is I can say whatever I want tonight because she's gone. Her and her sister in Oklahoma City, so I'm safe.
Oh, yeah?
You don't understand how the internet works, do you?
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
It's funny that she has an alibi.
Yeah, she will be coming home eventually.
So she's in Oklahoma with her sister, so you get a big bonk on the head, and she can't be pinned. Yeah, she can't get it pinned on her. I don't know, man. I might be. I think with her being out of town, you should probably be more nervous than normal.
Just check your credit card, and if you happen to see 200 pounds of lye and contractor bags.
Yeah.
Sleep with both eyes open.
She told me she was just cleaning. She told me she was just cleaning the toilets or something with 200 pounds of lye. Said after I was sick last week, she needed it or something. I don't know.
The toilet seat went up in flames. It was horrible. Obnoxious. What's going on? Terrible. This is terrible.
How did you get this number? I told you never to call here.
I'll call what I want. Tell me my business, devil woman. Have my business, devil woman.
What's going on?
Oh, the same in the usual.
Same in the usual?
The same in the usual.
I just want to say it was a touching, heartfelt note that you sent with those pins for the 2A rally. I never knew you felt that way.
You should read it. Read it to everybody. I think I sent like 22 of them. I think I had 22 of them. So if you guys, since I can't go,
22 notes.
22 notes.
A lot of writing.
Yeah. It's on really stiff paper, so if not obnoxious can tie him together and Epstein himself. So when you got to go see Obnoxious, and he'll give you a Gadsden flag pin, courtesy of me. You got to see him at the rally. That was I can't go, but that gives me a little bit of feeling that maybe I could be there with you guys a little bit. Kingpin, what's going on? You don't get a pin.
Yeah, I didn't get any butterscotch cookies last time either, so I'm kind of used to being left out. That's okay.
The pins taste better. Get one of those.
I heard that they did. I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Good seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. So let's see who's out there. Not a whole lot of action tonight. It's kind of slow. Grimm's out there. Ape, Snob's wife, Ohio 45. Ozzy, Lead Life. What's going on, Lead Life? Long time I haven't seen you for a little while, I don't think. Moo's out there. He don't want to come in. Moo doesn't come in anymore. He doesn't like us. Rich White's out there, just stopping by to say hi. I got to get to bed. Nice Godzilla pumpkin. I'm very proud of that pumpkin. I feel like I did a pretty good job. I ripped it off of the internet, you know what I mean? Googled Godzilla pumpkin and saw it, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look too hard.
Oh, and then you just posted the picture of it on your Instagram. I see how you got that good of a job done.
Yeah, actually, I probably should have done that. The other one was a little bit better. That's about it. Pretty slow night tonight. We'll see what happens here as the night unfolds. So, what's new? What's new in the news? Huh? Got a couple of articles. Let's see if I can find them here. All right. Moms demand action. Hosts event with illegal large capacity magazines, ghost gun parts and tools, bayonet, and live ammunition. I thought this was pretty funny. October 19th, Moms Demand Action, an organization that claims they advocate for firearm safety and common sense gun laws, held a Firearm 101 presentation with guest speaker Scott Papalardo. He is the dude that a little while ago cut his AR-15 and he cut it at the barrel. If you remember, he did a little video. He was just pandering and I don't want this gun no more.
Made his SBR on TV.
Right. Yeah. Made his SBR. Right. So he is the key speaker at this event. Our intention is to prepare non-gun owning volunteers to have knowledgeable conversations about gun violence prevention and gun owners they meet at their table or bench. So they wanted to have an event, basically, it seems like, to educate people how to speak. And I don't blame them because they're always catching so much damn heat for not knowing what the hell they're talking about, right? Talking about all this stuff and kind of making fun of them, giving them a hard time. But at the meeting, it appeared that several New Jersey laws were violated. It was in Jersey, by the way. The guest speaker, Papalardo, such a funny last name. It sounds like he should be one in the Mario Brothers movie back in the day. Scott Papalardo possessed several large capacity magazines, which are illegal. Unserialized 80% AR lower receivers, illegal. And the parts and tools to complete the lower receivers to functioning AR-15 rifles, and possessed a large bayonet. You know what? Let me share this. It's my bad here. I should have been sharing this.
How dare you have a large bayonet?
Yeah. Okay, can you guys see it now? So you got this sweet ass table full of cool stuff. He's got a, what is that, an M8 or an M7 bayonet or whatever, unserialized. Who make that? Oh, it's a polymer. Oh yeah, polymer 80, right? Yeah. I mean,
I can't even see it because it's such a ghost gun.
Yeah, I know, right? And what's funny is when you go down, they just talk about what they do here is they actually go through the laws. Large capacity magazines are defined as, a drum, box, or tube or other container that is capable of holding 10 rounds, more than 10 rounds, all this stuff. And then, they go through all the different laws and they come down here because it said live ammo. And I was like, why does it matter if he has live ammo? It says live ammunition ranging from 50 BMG to 5.56 AR-15 ammunition was also possessed by Pappalardo at the William G. Rohr Memorial Library, which is situated between 4 local schools. It is unknown at this time if possessing ammunition in a gun-free school zone is a violation of state or federal law. So it looks like because he was close to schools that he wasn't allowed to have that in the building. They're not sure. But so just thought that was an interesting article. Bunch of bullshit as far as I'm concerned. Because in the next article, another article in New Jersey. Okay, so we just had these Moms Demand Action Yahoos doing a seminar. They have large capacity magazines. They got ghost guns. They got ammo. They got all this stuff. Bayonet. They're not allowed to have any of that. Next article not the next article, but I found this article first. But I thought, boy, these tie together pretty interesting. IED did not destroy his life. New Jersey gun law will. New Jersey Marine facing 36 months for 2 high cap mags. Breaking. Marine Mike Harkey gave 8 years of his life protecting his country. An IED explosion medically retired him from the Marines. The Amtrak driver and Waldwick, New Jersey businessman came home with a Purple Heart and everything he was issued except for his rifle and gas mask. These souvenirs were sent home in Harkey's footlocker, which remained closed for years until that incident. An incident this past February brought about by a child custody dispute unfolded. Temporary restraining order was issued, and the Waldwick police visited the Harkey residence, asking as they always do about weapons in the dwelling. It was then that the footlocker was opened. The magazines were seized along with other property. The TRO was nullified at family court in February at the conclusion of the custody battle shortly after the seizure incident. During the subsequent search by police, a shotgun stored in his attic, his Marine dress sword, and 10 assorted collector knives were seized along with 2 standard capacity 30-round magazines the Marines issued to him that he forgot he stowed away in his footlocker. Harkey doesn't own a rifle or ammo for the magazines. They're just punched out pieces of metal that contain a spring, a follower, and some sand dust. Fast forward to September 19th, consent order from the family court. They're talking about he was placed under arrest and spent 2 days in Bergen County Jail. So this dude, great, thanks. Thanks a lot, Pop-Up. So we got this poor guy, right? He got 2 mags. Sure as hell had 2 mags on this table. They had 3 mags on this table. If he got 36 months, they should get at least 48, right? So that's just some straight bullshit, man. You got this guy who came home after being medically discharged, Purple Heart, serving this country. And they found some stuff that he forgot he even had it stowed away, hadn't dealt with it in months. And they're they have the ability to, really take him through the ringer if they want to.
I like how this says that he needs to apply for and pass a background check for an NJFPID. So I'm guessing New Jersey firearms something identification card in order to get his sword and knives back. His Marine dress sword.
Right. Yeah, he almost died for that, not carrying that sword, but you know what I mean? Like, that's, yeah. And he had 2 PMags or whatever the hell they might have been. They're probably not PMags.
GI
Well, maybe, who
mags.
knows? Doesn't matter. Yeah, probably GI mags. Well, I guess you never know. But, yeah, so straight bullshit, man. It's definitely what's good for the goose, good for the gander, right? So this dude's facing a bunch of charges. I think everybody involved with that mom's demand action shit should be facing charges. Same state, same mags, same,
Now, it does look like he stole Mello, so
He
probably
may not be so unscrupulous.
He may not be so innocent.
I think that's Mello's brother. I think that's her brother. And I think that's,
Are you sure that's not G-Webs?
I don't
from
know.
what I've heard.
G wasn't a Marine. He was in the Army. So, yeah. So, there you go.
Be undercover. I mean, it's the same.
From what I've heard, if you'd only be able to see like from the waist down in that picture that
Yeah, right.
if it was G-Webs.
Yeah. He'd do it so the dog's face was his. All right, so there you go. Some bullshit, right? Two more Tennessee counties become Second Amendment sanctuary cities. Do you guys hear about this one?
Wait, the counties became cities?
Two counties became sanctuary county. Yeah, that is kind of dumb that they don't say sanctuary counties, right?
Are they?
I mean,
are they sanctuaries for Springfield Armory? Is that what's going on?
That's what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. The same people that edited this probably decided to put a Springfield on here too. But it is what it is. So, Nashville, Tennessee. Two more Tennessee counties have voted. They voted to do this, which is really cool. Have voted to declare themselves Second Amendment sanctuary cities. He said cities again. Whoa, what's going on?
They're from Tennessee, so you got to forgive them a little.
Yeah.
They're hill folk down there, like user.
Sevier, Sevier, Sevier County and Jefferson County boards of commissioners each took up declarations, taking up resolutions announcing their support for the Second Amendment on Monday. The decisions add to a growing list of East Tennessee counties, which have taken up and passed similar resolutions, including Blount, Polk, Monroe, and Loudoun counties. Polk County led the way in April, becoming the first county in the state to pass such a resolution. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, it's the kind of thing it's not going to, unfortunately, get probably enough media traction, but it does. I mean, man, it chip away, right? I mean, it gives us the ability to point to another place that has awesome gun laws that's not a war zone, right? And you can't beat that. Where is Illinois? What's going on with Illinois with that? They hit a bunch, right?
Yeah, they had a ton of them. I don't know what the new number is. Let me see if I can find anything on that for you.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you guys hear about the? I mean, this is another one that's another good one to see in the news. Defensive use with a firearm, home defense. Philadelphia Eagles Fletcher Cox grabs a shotgun to defend home from girlfriend's ex.
Now, did he grab a double-barrel shotgun and shoot it twice up in the air?
I don't know. I didn't.
Because that would be okay.
I didn't read it.
Biden told us that's okay.
I would say.
No one cares what you have to
say,
say, Joe.
I'd say if Biden says it's okay, it's probably illegal. Philadelphia Eagles star Fletcher Cox usually spends his days trying to sack quarterbacks, but an incident last week forced the defensive lineman to rush a burglar that entered his New Jersey home. Oh, he's in New Jersey too? Man, Jersey's a hot spot. Man identified as Corbin Niama, Naima probably, showed up at Cox's Mullica Hill home looking for his ex-girlfriend, whom the star defensive tackle is currently dating. He was pissed off looking for a chick. Almost got himself shot in the face with a shotgun.
Because the power of boners is strong enough.
I suppose. Naima allegedly damaged the woman's vehicle because that's bitch work, and tried to enter the home by throwing rocks through the front door. What sounds like a real stud. He also walked around the property with a baseball bat. Yeah, and tried to enter the home through the garage. Police said. Cox armed himself with a shotgun, forcing the suspect to flee in his SUV. Should have peppered that sumbitch too. Tracked him down.
This guy is a massive human being. Look how big this guy is. He's huge, and he needed a gun to defend himself. So, if this big, strong football player, young, healthy guy, needs a gun to defend himself, what about the 5-foot-tall woman that was talking to Beto? So what's she gonna do to defend herself against the guy with a baseball bat?
Sure enough, is you never know. I mean, that's the thing. The people that are anti-gun are going to look at this and be like, look at this guy. He doesn't need a gun. Why would he need a gun? He would have been fine. He could have blah blah blah. But you don't know who's coming into your damn house or what they have or what they're on or what their intentions are, and that's something that many anti-gun people just will not admit to themselves that and they say the gun is a great equalizer, but you got to have it to do the equalizing, Pete says, why is it every time I come to this chat, it's all spinning wheel and gibberish? That's just how we roll here, bro.
Try flipping your plug-in around so that the positive end goes into the negative.
There you go.
Yeah. Take your laptop, put it on the ceiling fan, and turn it on, and then it'll in the opposite direction, and then it'll look all right.
So wait a second. Let me clarify. You guys aren't speaking gibberish?
Well, not so much right now.
No, that'll be a little bit.
But if you look for your TV remote and that little button that says SAP, hit it a couple times because sometimes when it gets down in the couch cushions, it turns it into gibberish.
Oh, there you go.
Who's breathing down my throat or my neck?
I see this one just popped up. I see they have at least 2 killed and several injured in a shooting in Texas.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. 14 injured, 2 killed. Texas A&M.
So, Rotten Orange pulled up. Hey, where'd it go?
I think it popped up saying he has connectivity issues.
It's in the side chat. It's in the side chat over there if you want to go to it directly.
Okay. Do.
Boom, 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 ba-dum, ba-da, da, 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 da,
What's Mario's favorite kind of jeans? Denim.
First of all, it's not even a cartoon.
The hell are you talking about?
I know.
All right.
Still closer to the tune than anything Snab sings.
Like
not going to carry a tune if you had a forklift.
All right, let's see. Here we go. See if we can share this. Okay, you guys seeing it?
Yep.
Illinois is. Oh, now that's not Illinois is. That's Illinois.
Illinois.
Illinois gun sanctuary. I'm not a robot. I'm not a robot. I swear, not a robot. Not Marty. Sanctuary counties map.
Robbie.
No action, progress, voting soon, passed resolution. Illinois counties that have enacted or are considering enacting sanctuary county status or other resolutions for gun rights. So, wow, that is a ton, isn't it?
Yeah, I counted them. It's got a list of them down at the bottom. It was 62 that are actual. 62 are green.
So how many counties are there in Illinois?
99.
Yeah, I was going to say that's more than
2/3 then.
I was going to say it looks like about 2/3. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the voting soon ones, there's quite a few yellow. There's quite a few orange too, which is progress, whatever progress.
Pending.
means. Yeah. Well,
means
voting soon would be
They've had something
on the books. Put
on the books that they're
Yeah.
researching.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Now, where's Chicago?
Cook
Cook
up on top.
Cook County, Cook,
Right,
DuPage,
right.
Will. It's in there up at the top.
Yep.
Lake County.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
That'll stay red forever.
Yep.
Sure.
Cook
Oh, yeah, for
Cook
sure.
will always be red.
Be pretty awesome to see a bunch of the green right around Cook too.
Hmm.
Trying to think, doesn't Chicago pretty much occupy all of Cook County?
Yes.
Yeah.
Revolver saying, "Did you hear about the guy who shot a deer and the deer killed him?" No. Should we send flowers to Squib's wife or something? Like,
There you go. Ozzy says 102 counties, 66 are sanctuary now.
nice.
So basically,
But if you look up there, Lake County, that's where I lived, right on the border of Lake and McHenry County when we were up there, and I grew up in Winnebago County.
I bet you did grow up in a Winnebago.
No,
Well, of course.
Did
He was
not
so
grow up
ugly
in
as a kid.
Winnebago.
How do you think his parents managed to feed him? They threw him in a trailer
Like-
and toured him around the South for 2
we
bits.
didn't have enough money for a trailer when I was growing up.
Looked like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, but it was big orange.
Oh, that wasn't
That's
the
why.
truck. That was
That's
just
why he's so messed up. Like,
That would have been nice.
That was
Would've
just
been nice.
obnoxious. They just used him as a hood ornament.
And Seven Wonders said, "Did you hear about the cop who literally murdered a guy in California? Dude dropped his gun as ordered, walked outside with hands up, and the cop shot him 5 times."
Yep.
No, I did not hear about that, but we can look that one up then. That's
The guy that came walking out, he was probably hot and needed to get ventilated a little bit.
yeah, it's good possible.
No, it's one of those things where it was the cop and his buddy both had guns drawn on this guy. The guy had thrown his gun down and was slowly walking towards them. So you make of that what you will.
Mm.
Yeah,
Unknown
that's the
user
guy.
saying, asking if I've ever made hardtack. No, I've never made hardtack. What am I, a
have
seafaring, like a pirate or something? No.
No, that wouldn't be hardtack. That's called a ship's biscuit, even though it's the same damn thing. It's flour and water. That's all it is. And yes, I've made it before. You need a very good non-stick surface to work on. And as
In the
for
cop's body cam. We'll check it out. Because we got well, that's awesome. I mean, that's good news too. I mean, it's there's still it's nice to see, not that there's some sanctuary cities there, that just there's so many, which is awesome, but it seems like it's a progressive thing. Like, it's still moving forward. It's still,
Well, that's really just showing you the difference in Illinois and how much one large population can control it.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, it is a shame. it's a well, it's same with Philly and Pittsburgh and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
And LA and New York controlling those 2 states.
right. All right. Florida man. Who wants a Florida man story?
Nobody wants a Florida man story.
You don't
Does
want
it
to
involve the word
I'm lying. We all
alligator,
want
machete, cocaine, and airboat?
Florida
it's-
man stories. We just none of them surprise us anymore.
Oh, this one might surprise you. This one surprised. This one
I don't know.
surprised me.
Is this the Florida man that's actually Florida woman, but is actually Florida man?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't know. The
Is it
only
Florida
Florida man.
He married himself.
The only Florida man story that's surprising me at this time is if he went out to dinner and a movie with his wife and went home and went to bed. That's the only thing that's surprising me now.
All right, so we're sure you guys seeing this guy, Florida man here?
Nope. I'm completely unsurprised by this.
And we're not right. And it's not. This is not Fine Apes high school yearbook.
I was going to say, is he related to Ape Baby?
Don't make any jokes. That would be ridiculous. Bam. There's the headline. Florida man arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting stuffed Olaf at Target.
He should have just let it go.
Wow.
Not that it really matters, but what's an Olaf?
Olaf from Frozen.
Snowman
from
Oh.
The little cartoon with the snowman?
Yeah.
Yes.
The cartoon snowman, yeah.
And like I said, I am totally unsurprised by this Florida man story.
A Florida man was arrested. Go ahead.
I was just curious. He did this at Target, though? I thought Target had a little classier folk than that.
No, it's a little bit more higher price, so it usually keeps some of the other parts away. Not saying they don't hire them.
Hey, well, All right, so let's read this story here. So, a bloke's 2 cents was arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting an Olaf stuffed doll a Florida man. Sorry.
Wow.
I wasn't supposed to say something. I'm sorry. That was not supposed to be said.
I'll bet Olaf didn't look like that when he was done.
The wildly popular PG-rated Disney movie Frozen in a Target store on Tuesday. Report said Cody Meter, 20.
Meter.
Yeah. Is accused of placing the popular snowman on the floor and dry humping it until he ejaculated at the Pinellas Park store at about 2 p.m.
2 p.m.?
Yeah, it was 2 p.m. I didn't even realize.
Now I'm surprised. No,
yeah, I thought it was probably like
meth is a hell of a drug.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. According to the arrest affidavit. Yeah. Meter then found a stuffed unicorn in the store that he allegedly dry humped before the cops arrived. Yeah. So it wasn't just
that we can understand. It was popularized in the movie Deadpool. It's all these evil comic book movies putting bad ideas into otherwise good, decent folks' heads.
Yep. Meter's father told cops his son has a history of this type of behavior, the arrest record said. Cops charged Meter with criminal mischief and said the stuffed animals had to be destroyed. Well,
thankfully.
I think he'd already done that. He'd already done that, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Florida man story. There you go. You heard it here first. Oh man. So what was that other? What was that other cop one? It was where was that? California.
I bet he didn't get red flagged.
Yeah.
No, he just recognized
for sure.
Does anybody have a link to that? Oh wait, here I think I found it. Video of Fresno cop fatally shooting unarmed teen. New release video shows blah blah blah. Is this in the? Oh, it's in somebody's backyard. Okay, yeah, this is probably it. And pop-ups. And pop-ups. And
pop-ups.
Katie Hill shows her. Oh yeah. That Katie Hill chick that had the nude photos.
She's
and all that stuff.
Who?
Yeah, she resigned. Is she a rep or is she a? I forget who she is. I guess she's a rep. Yeah, reps. Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, if you're representative for a state, there's a lot more of you to get away with shit than there's like 2 senators.
Yeah. So yeah, she quit.
Night, Pete.
She's given up. Newly released surveillance video shows the moment a California cop shoots and kills an unarmed teenager. Isaiah Golding, 16, is seen climbing a fence while fleeing Fresno police and dashing across the lawn at a daycare center. Oof, boy, that sucks. That's scary. On April 14th, 2007. Oh, this happened a long time ago. April 14th, 17. One of the officers opens fire from the other side of the fence, hitting him in the back of the head. The teen falls limp to the ground and is handcuffed by another cop. The video was provided to the Post by attorney Stuart Chander, who is representing the dead boy's family. Wow. Let's see. It's a YouTube video, so let's click it and see what happens.
Just turn the sound off. Midnight Range TM is having connectivity issues. Please stand by.
He gone. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, he's back. He's gone. He's back. Midnight, can you hear me?
Wow. Yeah, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
I see you.
Yeah, it just says you're stuck on the floor man page, and it says you're having connectivity issues.
Oh. Okay, hold on.
Seven saying that's not the story. Said that shot the guy 5 times in the chest.
Oh.
7. How about you earn the wrench you got there, and send us a link to the story.
Brigade. Give us the link.
This ain't Yankees chat where you just get a wrench. You got to work for it, boy. Or maybe you did for Yankees. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
And he just bounced out.
Hey, at least he gets a wrench.
Yeah.
No, I can see him.
Yeah, I can see him.
No.
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, there it came back. Okay.
No, just you disappeared for a half second and said moderator.
Yeah, right. it was showing me connectivity issues. Yeah, for sure. So that's not the story apparently. So 7 Wonders or whoever, if you have the article, hop it up there.
Glenn Tech's a moderator now. He has a star.
Okay.
Cool. I'd over a wrench, but I have a star.
You have the power.
So did you guys see this one though? Were you guys able to see the video when I played it?
No, you clicked and then it just booted you.
Oh, okay. Can you see it now?
We can see you.
We see you.
Okay, it stopped. Okay, let me reshare the screen. Yeah, it did that earlier today while I was setting things up to it. It went down. This is pretty rough too.
There you go.
So can you guys see it?
Yep, we can see it.
All right. Yeah, kid hops the fence and this cop just shoots him right through the fence, man.
Yeah, October 23rd, 2019.
That's rough. All right, so do we have that other video?
No, 7 just said I saw it on the news ticker as I was walking through the living room. I know we brought it up on Matt's chat and then later on Yankees chat, but
well, then
I was busy. I was busy mowing the lawn.
So he had all this time. He's telling everybody about it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't give me the link. Thanks a lot.
Way to go, 7.
So what that was in California though. Okay, so let me look for it here.
Rich found it earlier. Kids are. Was Rich here?
Man shot chest after gun struggle with girlfriend.
Do you have a link?
Hang on here a second. I'll give it to you in a minute.
Okay. Kid drops his gun, hands up, walks out the glass door. Cop shot him 5 times. Pew. Yeah, they shouldn't have done that. Probably.
Yeah, okay, wait a second, because this may be a different one.
There was an article about. I found an article about a 3D printed 223. Also, do you guys see that? It's like odd looking, featureless.
Like 3D printed plastic or 3D printed metal?
I'm not sure.
Why not?
I got it.
Because I didn't. You found it? Okay.
Yeah, here I'll send you. I'll get you the link.
Okay.
Pretty sure this is the one. There you
go. So weird. So weird.
Night Strike really needs to take care of this whole Joe Biden thing going on with GunTube.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Night Strike made that noise. He just recorded himself. He's like bringing his microphone.
He should turn into a fart sound. That would be way more awesome. San Bernardino officer fired after body cam footage shows deadly confrontation with suspect. And then there's a dude riding a horse. What does that have to do with anything? All right. Well, let's see here. All right. So, share screen. Okay. Okay, you guys see it?
After this fall? Outrageous.
Yeah. That's what I mean. The San Bernardino, it's got the caption of not a horse race, but all right.
Well, they're chasing him with a water truck.
How do you
forget?
There we go. Mute was on the wrong side. All right, here we're watching. Yeah.
Charlie 23, Baker 23. Oh, dang it, too quick.
Where are you at? Are you outside now?
Yeah. Sister-in-law. Officer's pulling up. Are you going to talk to the officer? So the sister-in-law goes to talk to the officer, I guess.
Got to circle it.
Yeah, is that them? Are they circling a weapon?
That's what it looks like.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's a pistol. Looks like.
Yep, it is.
So is it?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he set it down on the couch.
Yeah.
Hands empty. Hands empty. Why are you zooming into a crotch?
What the hell?
Ooh, we can't show you the rest of it.
As I say, the question of it is, what did the audio say? Were they telling him to stop, and he kept coming?
That's what the article says, is they were yelling at him to stop, and he kept coming at him.
Yep, there you go.
It's not.
Already had a weapon in his hand, so they didn't know if they had any more.
Shouting him drop a weapon.
The suspect then walks outside to the officers to put his hands up, but he did not comply with their commands to stop walking. As he continued to approach the officers, one of them opens fire.
That's going to fall under the 20-foot rule.
Mm-hmm.
Empty hands or not, hands up or not, it's going to fall within the 20-foot rule.
Boy, that's bad. That's going to light up public opinion now, man. Like that video.
He looked white, so it won't
ever get brought up.
Who pulled what 7?
They pulled it. What does that mean?
Pulled his finger?
That'll do it. That's the new Night Strike sound.
You're pulling the finger.
Yeah.
Told what? Speak in complete sentences.
And don't be playing this goddamn pronoun game.
1 second after they stop the video, cops.
Yeah, they're not going to show you. They're not going to show him shooting them.
Yeah, you'll have to go to somewhere else to see that. I don't know. I mean, you guys in law enforcement are going to, have one opinion, and the public is going to have another for sure. That's one of those. That's one of those.
I don't even think that's not even a law enforcement thing. I think that's just people who carry a gun's going to have the same opinion. If someone's coming at you and you're all right, take away the fact that they're at his house. Just take away you're out in public and someone is walking towards you and you're hollering, "Stop, stop!" You already perceive them as a threat for whatever reason, and you're continuing to yell "stop," and they don't stop. I mean, you're going to be justified in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, that's going to fall into the 20-foot rule.
And he already had his firearm out due to the fact that the guy already had a gun. So he's not going to try to holster his firearm and draw less lethal, whatever, taser or whatever it may be.
Yeah, at that point, it's far too close for that, for sure. Yeah, you're right in that one.
Oh, we're dumbasses.
We're dumbasses because the news channel, the article that we went and found that after 7 gave us half a story, didn't show the actual shooting.
Okay, dumbasses.
Well, then 7. How about you go and find it?
You got a link.
Notice he says murder. He hangs around Yankee a little too much. He's already calling it murder before we even see all the evidence.
That's true.
Like I said, he brought it up on Matt's
chat.
He brought it up on Yankees chat.
He wasn't standing in the kitchen, was he?
It's kind of an interesting thing. You listen to 3 or 4 of our kind of groups or of the gunchannel.com channels, and a lot of questions get brought up in the same 3 or 4 chats.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like, oh, did you see this? Or, oh, hey, do you know if this gun that's on Classic Firearms right now for $1.50 can be converted to single action?
Well, you also, I mean, it's nice to do it too, because it's interesting to get different opinions on stuff, but it's also pretty educational because when people look at things a little bit differently, you get different points of views, whatnot. And depending on who you talk to, you got to weed through a bunch of bullshit. But
I just honestly don't see it. Carry my revolver saying he says it's a bad shoot. I don't see it as a bad shoot at all. I mean, if he's physically yelling "stop, stop, stop," he already had his gun out for the reason of the fact that the guy did have a gun in his hand, so he didn't draw that.
Slob, we saw it several times.
Yeah, there's no
7, you're not helping your view of the incident by using names. Just come on, it's Snob, not Slob. I met him. He's actually has some fairly decently.
And I've already explained this. I found it on a news channel website.
Yeah, that was a news.
The news channel is not going to show you the shooting. If you would like to find the one where they show you the shooting, go watch it, but we're probably still not going to show it on here.
Without having more information involved, you could easily just play whataboutism and say, what if that was a clip of 2 dead cops right now?
There you go. Go watch that one, and then maybe you'll understand why you shoot somebody that's within 20 feet of you when they keep advancing. Because this one, the guy he kills at least 1 cop, and I'm pretty sure he slashes 2 or 3 others.
Yeah, you watch all the training footage that you get fed when you're going to school or training for law enforcement, you'll understand.
Oops. Did Ghost in?
Like I said, it's the same way with CCW classes as well. That's we call it the 21-foot rule. If you're within 21 feet, you're justified. As long as you're giving commands, you've given multiple commands, you tell them to stop, stop, stop. They refuse to stop. You're within 21 feet. You're done.
Yeah, and the person's already a threat. I mean, he was clearly already a threat.
I'm serious. Go watch the video that I posted in there. These are it's not in the States, but there are like 6 cops around this guy. And he manages to kill one of them and slashes 2 or 3 others.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you, man. And I'm not, and when I said what I said, I wasn't implying either way. I was just mentioning how it's going to look to a cop versus the public. You know what I mean? Now, Calaveras was here for a second, and then he took off on us. Ghost, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Long time no talk. What's happening?
Oh, man.
Okay. He's gone.
Fuck you then, buddy.
He says, oh, man. And he takes off.
He's like, oh, yeah, I realized what chat I got in. Never mind. My bad.
Actually, in all fairness,
man,
right before he
Yankees chat.
right before you asked him that, I heard the little deet 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 of the microwave going off. So I think his crayon soup was done.
His hot pockets are done.
His Crayola pockets.
They're both back. That was funny. Last thing we heard, Ghost, was, "Oh man!" And then you disappeared.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. This is Chamber with mobile is interesting. So
yeah, I wasn't able to jump on last time I tried, but so what's going on, buddy? What's happening?
oh man, it's another day in paradise. It's just trying to get to the next day.
Have you heard? Have you been listening to the show, or did you just jump on?
Just got here. What's up?
Yeah, we're just going over a bunch of articles, a bunch of news articles.
You mind starting over?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. What I'll do is I'll just go and play my show from the beginning, and then I'll go make a snack, and you guys can just you want to chat again.
Kind of Mystery Science 3000 this.
Yeah, there you go. But we had, we're just talking a bunch of articles, but one of them was a Marine. I just didn't know if you heard about that Marine, he gone again.
Look,
right.
Ghost, just get yourself halfway through your soup of Crayolas and Rosa Arts, and then come back. Don't pop it in the microwave and come back to the chat, and then pop it back in when it's not warm enough.
In National Lampoon's Christmas Story, where Eddie goes and kidnaps the boss and drags him back to the house to fess up for Clark not getting the big raise, the bonus or whatever. One of these times, Ghost is going to drive over to Night Strike's house and snatch him up and bring him back and be like, okay, fix this. Why can't I get on?
I don't think either of them that we've really got available to us play well with mobile, because everybody has trouble with the duck too on mobile.
The duck kills your battery.
See, I think, do you have an Android? Because I don't have that problem with the duck. My iPhone, with it killing my battery.
We got 2 ghosts. We got Ghost and we got Ghost.
The Christmas Vacation when he's talking about the big bag of monkey shit that he is.
Yeah. Oh boy. Seven Wonder says he was LEO at an ethnic college in North Carolina. Faced much worse than this cop. This was clearly murder. Wait and see. He'll be convicted. I don't know, man. Who knows?
Who is that? Who is that that said that?
Seven Wonders.
Okay.
Hey, roll call. Larry!
Yeah, anyway. Yeah.
That's why I got it. You know that horse that was running from the water trucks? He heard what happened to Larry. Water happened.
So he took off.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's going to get on top of me. Cindy's driving it.
He's going to run him over. Ghost, are you back now? Are you stable?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. You sound great now. So
it's just
one of the articles was a Marine in Jersey. I didn't know if you'd heard about this guy that got busted with the mags, got in trouble.
Yeah, he had 2 or 3 magazines and a Foot Locker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. So kind of talked about that, and I talked about there was also a I guess we could call it a seminar that was sponsored by Moms Demand Action in New Jersey, and they had a whole bunch of stuff that they weren't allowed to have too. They had a bunch of mags. They had a stripped lower, unserialized 80% lower, a bayonet. They had all this stuff too. Same state, pretty much the same stuff. And I'm just sort of interested I was interested to talk about it and bring it up and say, hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? If this poor guy is going to get in trouble for forgetting that he had 2 mags in his damn Foot Locker from 8 years ago or whatever. Curious to see if anybody from that seminar sponsored by Moms Demand Action gets in trouble for purposely bringing them into the state.
If I remember correctly, the magazines that were found in the Foot Locker were not loaded, correct?
He didn't even have ammo for the place, and he doesn't have a rifle.
There you go.
He didn't have a rifle.
Empty magazines.
He didn't have a rifle.
Metal,
he didn't have ammo. It was just 2 mags, right?
Yeah, just cool pieces of metal.
Yep. Yeah. Bullshit. So, be interested to see if this guy catches any kind of charges. Will they? I'm sure they won't. I'm sure that'll be. I'll definitely be pessimistic on these two. Maybe he won't get in trouble, but if he does, I sure as hell know that Moms Demand Action won't get in trouble for anything.
It'd be interesting to know if Tony Simon knows about this, because if Tony knows about this, especially
he's a Marine too
himself,
yeah,
he might know some people that could look into the Moms Demand Action thing.
Yeah, I'll have to hit him up on Facebook or Instagram. That's a good point. Revolver saying, wow, and he got in trouble for that. I mean, I guess it's pending. You know what I mean? I don't know if anything has come of it for sure yet. Let me see. I have the article here. Harry, here it is. Harkey, now remarried, has a November 15th court date, so it's coming up in a couple of weeks here. He's going to find out. Harkey worried the state is trying to make him an example for New Jersey's high cap mag ban that puts you away for 18 months per magazine. Then wrote a Facebook post on Tuesday the 23rd, which is now going viral. Fellow 2A supporters recommended he get attorney Evan Knappen to represent him in this matter. As of last Wednesday's meeting, Knappen is under retainer contract. We interviewed Harkey earlier this afternoon. This is from the 25th for this exclusive story. It says no fundraising effort is yet underway. So,
if you happen to hear of one, please let me know.
Yeah, I'll. If I see anything, I'll post it for sure. That's a good Instagram post too. Tag a bunch of people in for sure.
So you said 18 months per magazine. So that's 3 magazines. That's 4.5 years.
No,
he
only had
2.
It was Moms Demand Action that had 3.
Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but you're forgetting he had that deadly dress sword.
Oh yes, that thing that's made by Wilkins Razors in England. That's completely, I don't want to say completely useless, but not made for hacking and slashing or stabbing.
Is if anyone knows anything about military NCO sword, they're not sharp.
So I was going to say they're probably so dull you couldn't even cut butter with them. You'd probably smash it.
So, unless that butter was warm, yeah.
Yeah, Revolver said, how'd they know he had him? He was going through a divorce, I guess, and had a not a PFA, but a restraining order. So they came and asked him about weapons, and he said, I have my dress sword because he was a Marine. They opened up a Foot Locker and they found a sword, some other knives that he had collected, and the 2 mags that he had shipped home, all in the Foot Locker.
I'll tell you what someone ought to do. Someone ought to be out there fighting women being able to put a restraining order on you just when you go through a divorce or a custody battle just because their lawyer tells them to.
Right.
I had that happen to me, and it is a disaster to get rid of.
And the thing of it is, 9 chances out of 10, his lawyer didn't request that because a lot of states that's automatic. Once you file for the divorce, it's automatic.
See, I was mentioning that to my wife because I was telling her about the story, and I had heard that from a lot of people that it's very common, that it's just kind of not automatic. I didn't know it was automatically put on sometimes, but I thought that it was very, very common just because you're going through a divorce and nothing else. So here's the other New Jersey article goes. I'm sharing the screen. This is literally the picture that they have of the event. So there's a bayonet. There's 1, 2, 3 mags. There's a it's a polymer 80.
Oh my God! There's actual pictures of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they can't even.
How do you think they got found?
And what's funny is here, right down in the bottom left corner, moms demand action, like business cards right there. It's perfect.
Wow.
There's the jig, right? That's the jig.
For educational purposes, don't you know that?
Right.
So it's okay.
Exactly. That's what they'll say. That's probably how they'll get off.
Well, I'm thinking if moms demand action were getting off, they wouldn't be causing so much trouble.
If they were at Target with Olaf. Yeah.
Well, Florida man can be very territorial about their area. He already killed poor Olaf. You don't want to know what he'd actually do with an actual female.
Any person who knowingly has in his possession any other weapon under circumstances not manifestly appropriate for such lawful uses as it may have is guilty of a crime of the 4th degree. So possession. It's just having possession. And then, that whole it's for educational purposes. Doesn't matter. It's just for possession. You've got possession. So
I hope
those two articles.
Hollow point, though.
No, you can have it. You just can't. I was actually talking to a guy in New Jersey. You can have it. You can shoot it at a range, but if you shoot somebody with it, it's like 922R compliant bullshit.
Wait, no, that's not true.
Just if you
go ahead.
If you get in trouble, I'm doing the air quotes. It's something that they'll tack on, like, oh, hey, you had this not compliant AR-15 and a box of hollow point bullets. So that's this charge for the illegal rifle and this for the ammo. It's not, we stopped you and you had a box of hollow points.
Yeah, because that's hollow point stuff
100% not true, because that happened to a woman from Pennsylvania a couple of years ago. She was in Philly. She had a revolver with hollow points in it. She got lost and she ended up in Jersey and she got pulled over. And I don't know, I can't remember what exactly happened with it, but they tried to charge her for every bullet that she had in her gun.
Okay, but the thing is, but you just said you don't know how it turned out.
Well, I know, but they arrested her for it and they were, I'm not saying
any fucking thing. It doesn't matter. They'll throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
The hell.
I'm sorry. I had an actual sun drop today. I had more caffeine. And somebody put freaking baking powder on my sugar donuts.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, I got breaking news. Do you want to hear breaking news?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's up, Rocco? How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm just gonna go on here and tell you these two stories, and then I gotta get to bed, man. I've been up all day, since 8 in the morning. So in my city, the mayor, his son got pulled over, he was in a parking lot, and the cops rolled up on him. They found dope in his mouth and a gun, and he was a felon.
This is fake news. This isn't breaking news. You talked about this 2 weeks ago.
So, no, listen. So then he goes to the police chiefs and scolds them for arresting his son, and tells them that, you know, they did him a dirty deed on this one. So all 3 police chiefs resign. Give him their resignation. He accepts it. And now he's renaming a new chief of police in my town. So everybody is in a shitstorm about this. And this guy still hasn't resigned.
What's he named? Police chief, like Bill? George?
Oh, I thought it was Larry.
No.
Larry.
So everybody's in a shitstorm for this because he's renaming a police chief on Tuesday, a new one. And everybody's freaking out about this guy. And then he says it was politically motivated why his son got arrested and that they planted all this stuff on his son after he resisted law enforcement and they had to yank the drugs out of his mouth. And then they recovered the gun, and I think he got it at my shop. So that's the first story, and which is crazy. And so I wake up like 2 a.m, go to the bathroom, and I answer my phone. 6 people broke into my shop today and stole a bunch of guns. So I've been counting guns all day. So it goes to show you, criminals are criminals and they'll do whatever they want. So I've been counting guns all day today, trying to figure out, and they stole 6 guns. It was 6 people.
Did you have it? Well, I'm sure you got it on camera, right?
Yeah. So.
Hey! So, don't be hard on roll call. 6 is 1 more than he has fingers on a hand.
So
I don't know. We had that happen a few years ago at a shop. Not super close to me, but yeah, not super close to me. But somebody broke in and I guess didn't trip an alarm or anything. And 1 or 2 guys like just sort of took their time and they got away. They made it away with like 24 guns or something. And they ended up finding them, arrested them, and they did find the guns. What they had done is it was kind of a rural area. They took them out and they took them straight out of the gun shop and walked them into like a field and just put them in a big cornfield. And figured like, well, we'll just give it a couple of days, we'll give it a week, and then we'll go get them. And they ended up catching them. A couple of people out there, Revolver and Conservative, said that the Philly woman was pardoned by Chris Christie. So, but if she was pardoned, that means she could have gotten charged for it.
Well, she was pardoned means she was actually convicted.
True. There you go. Right.
And with the stolen guns, the cops and my manager went in there, and the cops didn't even go to the gun counter. They went on the opposite side. They flipped on the lights, and the fire alarm went off. They were still in the building.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they were still in the building, and still didn't never catch them.
Wow.
Yeah, and they got away with it.
That's pretty damn scary that they were still there once they showed up. Because, man, getting in who knows what they could have had, as far as firearms. If they're breaking into a damn gun store.
They had a hammer. That's all.
Bring a hammer to a gunfight. Bringing a hammer to a gunfight's not a good idea.
Hey, now.
Yeah,
Chris Ellsworth has done some miracles with a hammer.
It was pretty bad, man. And that's what I did all day today.
Ohio's asking, do they leave the guns in the cases or do they put them in a safe at night?
They leave them in the cases. But what was crazy is when they ripped open the doors and got in, the alarm went off. Sometimes in the past, like if I put my keys in my pocket, I got a panic button on my keys just in case something goes wrong. And the cops are always showing up there in 3 minutes, man. Lights blazing and everything running in the back. These guys didn't show up for ever. Finally get there. Yeah, finally get there.
That's the way it always works. When seconds count, cops are minutes away.
Mm-hmm. So they broke into the door, got into the breezeway, broke, how the automatic doors open, broke that the top window out. Didn't even break the bottom window out. Broke the top window out, hurdled the top window, hurdled the chains, ran all the way back there. They were in there for at least 8 to 9 minutes. It was, and they said there were 6 people. And what was crazy is this happened an hour and a half after I left.
That's a lot of time too. Like people hear 8 minutes or 6 minutes or whatever, and you think, oh, that's nothing. That's a long time.
You can clean out a store in that amount of time.
Oh yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's not like you're shopping around looking for what you want. You just go in there and grab whatever the crap you can grab.
Well, too, chances are they've been in the store. You know what I mean? Like places, most times I would imagine it's a pretty high percentage that people break in to do a crime like that. They've been in there before to look and see what they want, if they want to do it. They're not going to run. Most people aren't going to break in there and be like, all right, let's look around and see what's here.
They're not going to go, this has 4 more ounces for half the weight. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to go in there and be like, oh, shit, they got a python in there. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm going for right away.
They didn't take any handguns. So what does that tell you?
That they were from India or Illinois, and they knew they couldn't, they knew they couldn't buy them out of state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah, it was pretty wild today, and by the time I left once to go pick up Cindy from work, came back there, made sure, what I did was correct, and made sure they inventoried all the shotguns and whatnot. And the ATF still hadn't shown up. So
that's
I don't know. Yeah.
Not really. It's a government organization.
It's Sunday. What do you expect?
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's Sunday, and isn't the World Series of golf on this weekend?
Yeah, Tiger Woods already won anyway. So,
what is this feet ball you speak of?
It was football this weekend, so they couldn't miss their game probably. But I had an interesting day today. So don't ever get into the gun business. Don't ever go get a job at a gun store, because it is stupid. It is stupid when this shit happens. And I curse these people, whoever they are, or whoever these criminals are. I curse them all day.
You said they got. You said they did arrest them.
You curse people all day, every day.
Yeah.
What did you say, Midnight?
Is it? Did they? You said they did catch him, or no?
No, they didn't. They didn't. They went out the back, because when you go to the front of the store, the gun counter's all the way in the back of the store, and this is the size of one of the smaller Walmarts. It's not like a super center, but it's
the old, the pre super center Walmarts.
Yeah. So they had enough time to get through all the glass and everything while the alarm's going off, and it's probably blazing in their ears, to run all the way to the back of the store and get in the one case, and then get out of the store through the back way, and the cops never surrounded the store or anything. They set a perimeter up on the outside of the store. I was like, why? Why would you set up a perimeter on the back side of the store or around the store? You know, to go to make sure if they're still in there that nobody gets out.
That's
It
why
was
you're
wild,
setting the perimeter
man.
up around the outside of the store, so in case they do come out, you can catch them.
Well, they set it in the front, not in the back.
Well, but it's dark and it's scary back of the store. It's not as well lit.
Also, to be honest, if it's got an audible alarm, to be honest, they probably assumed that they probably broke out the window and then ran as soon as the alarm went off.
That's probably where the kitchen was. That's probably why.
True. That is true.
Oh, is there a kitchen in the place? Yeah, that's a big. If they ran through the kitchen,
what if it's a kitchen section
on a second floor?
Oh, Christ!
I mean, multiple fridges and stoves. That'd be scary.
See, there's only 2 gun stores in my town, and the other one was somebody attempted to break into that one a couple weeks ago. So I don't know if these people have been going around the area casing gun stores, you know, and seeing what either the reaction time or whatnot.
Roll call. That's called a clue that it might be the same people.
And since there's only 2 in the area, everybody knows that these 2 places sell guns. Like, nobody's coming in there to go and take all the Under Armour clothing or some long johns or a duck call. No, this place sells. We have a massive amount of guns, man. It's like
they broke in and stole all the Duck Dynasty quackers.
They're not going to steal the duck calls.
Long
kills all the ducks in that area.
Yeah.
Clovertack said burglars love the Fud Life too, and I said, yeah, they stole all the single shot break open 16 gauges Fud Life.
16. Cook, please. 28 gauge.
Nah, 16 gauge is old timey. I used to hunt with a 16 gauge.
Yeah, but 28 is more of a rare footage thing.
Mm-hmm.
10 gauge was Damascus barrel.
Kind of popular. What's up? Glimtech, what'd you say?
Recall?
I said 10 gauge with a Damascus barrel.
There you go. Yeah, it's just waiting to explode in your face.
And
knock in your ass.
Deer season is coming, yeah. What's up there, new guy? He's looking like we're having some connectivity issues there. Gee webs. He gone.
Mm-hmm.
He gone too.
I bet you he's on mobile, just saying.
Yeah,
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he's on mobile.
Clovertack says 16 equals the gentleman's gauge.
Gentleman's gauge for the gentleman's club?
I started hunting with a 410 and then moved to I don't even know what manufacturer it was. I should get this gun from my uncle to see just to check it out. A bolt action 16 gauge. Detachable mag.
Did it have like big cuts compensator on the front of it?
No, I don't think so. And it was wrapped. It was wrapped in somebody had wrapped it in like camo, like a camo tape or something. So I don't even know. If
it's not a Stevens, it's probably a Western Auto or Montgomery Ward or Sears or somebody they
well,
made.
now,
Probably Sears.
Yeah, but those were made by regular reputable companies for them.
Right.
Like I've
either
got
Savage or not Savage, Stevens or
sometimes Savage or Mossberg.
Winchester.
J.C. Higgins is another one. I have a J.C. Higgins rifle. It was the same thing. It was made by a bunch of other people.
Yeah, because I've got
a 16 gauge. It's a Western Auto.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to ask my uncle to bring it with next time I see him at camp or something like that. That'd be cool to see that. Check that out. Got to get him to change that sound. and make it so that the audience can hear it too. So if anybody out there is watching and they don't understand what we're saying, when Clovertack saying Higgins bolt shotguns were high standard. There you go. When you join the chat on GunTube, it goes a little.
When you type something in the side chat,
or I mean, yeah, when you in the side chat.
Aloha HVS.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Bolt's gun piccolo. You had me worried there for a minute. You know something's wrong if what you're doing is worrying Seven Wonders.
Oh man. You might be going to jail, bro. All right, so what else? I don't know if I have any other stories or any other articles. That Facebook thing, the firearms blog did that article on Facebook and Google indexing serial numbers. What do you guys think about that? Have you heard about that? Ain't that some shit?
That's a new one.
Yeah, so, I guess if you just Google the serial number, right?
So yeah, what they did was just like you know, when they do it with cars or whatever with license plates. You know, the parking authority or whoever, Facebook and Google have been, I guess, cataloging serial numbers. And what the firearms blog did was go and Google. I don't know if they just Googled or if they typed it in somewhere specific. A serial number of a gun that they had posted a picture of or whatever. Just the serial number, and it took them to their post.
All right, I have an obnoxious. Can you give a disclaimer about what I'm about to say? And I'm going to tell you how to keep this from happening.
The views and opinions of the Gun Sniper, the views and opinions of the Gun Sniper, only do not reflect the views and opinions of Midnight Range TM, anybody on the panel, anybody who's not on the panel, anybody out there in real life, and anybody with any sense whatsoever that's not a Noki. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, if you want to keep the Facebooks and the Facebooks and the Instagrams from getting your serial numbers, just get you a little Dremel and just grind that off of there perfect, and then they won't get it.
Can we get that? The views and opinions of the Gun Sniper only do not reflect the views and opinions of any law-abiding citizen in the world whatsoever, anywhere.
And that wasn't the Gun Stop. That was
the ATF rule. ATF was not listening.
That was a real shit show of a disclaimer.
That was satire.
Your satire does not shake me.
I've never been to Oklahoma.
Or you just buy them ghost guns.
I don't think Ghost would like you taking his arms.
You can try.
Well, if you already got a wife and daughter, so I figured one's got your left arm, the other one's got your right arm.
Right.
It's like, I ain't got no arms left.
Did you guys talk about the killing in Texas at the prom or whatever?
It was from apparently what Matt dug up on Yankees chat. It was a twerk or treat party.
Well, wow.
I'm going to one of those tomorrow night.
Otherwise known as the drunk tank.
And your wife and her sister are having out of town. Twerk or treat. She's still out there?
He's
not
not
with that.
He's hosting it.
And you're invited.
All right.
All right. Spanking it.
No. So is that the one that they were referencing? Is that the one that Seven Wonders was referencing in the chat earlier?
Yeah, it's the one. Yeah, it's the one that had the 2 killed and 14 injured or something.
Yeah. What happened? What was the deal? Was it?
I mean, who has
they don't know yet
about watching people twerk all the time? I mean, really, let's be honest.
The third-hand information that we're getting secondhand from Never Enough Ammo on Yankees Chat off a news site was that this place that had happened is kind of the middle of nowhere, relatively speaking, for the area, and the cops were there for, I don't know, apparently someone had called and bitched about it either being loud or someone parking illegally, and since they were there, and of course this is a non-sanctioned college party,
right?
There was obviously one or two people who'd over invited, so they were talking or questioning a guy who they said seemed highly intoxicated outside. So there was like 2 or 3 cops already there, and they heard the gunshots, couldn't decide whether it was, or figure out whether it was coming from outside or inside, and speculation is this could have just been one guy, or was one guy who might have had an issue with one person, and either A, figured, well, I already shot someone, so fuck it, and started just firing randomly, or it was shot, missed, hit someone.
So we're getting second-hand, third-hand information?
We're getting secondary, tertiary information.
All right. When do we start the impeachment inquiry on Midnight Range?
Hello?
Are you saying that police were at the party?
The police were already at the party for like a parking complaint or something like that. And of course,
my question is, what are the police even doing at the party? Or were they even there?
Well, they like a good twerking also.
No, like I said, either this is, secondary information from Never Enough Ammo. It was apparently either someone in the area that it was in called to complain about the party, or someone got pissed and called the cops that, well, somebody keyed my car, what the hell's going on? And, with it being a college party, if the cops are there, they're probably going to notice that, hey, a couple of people are kind of staggering and trying to drive or staggering around, so, I don't know.
Well, there you go. It's a mess.
The more.
No, HVS. I don't think the guy crashed the party. He was there like half hour or an hour before the cops showed up for this unrelated matter. So.
And they never found the dude. This guy ran away, and they never found who did all the shit.
Yeah.
Probably one of the guys that robbed your store. Can't catch nobody out there. What the hell are the cops doing? What are the cops doing? Hanging out in kitchens? Making sandwiches?
Yeah.
They're twerking and eating hot dog sandwiches.
Yeah.
In the kitchen on the second floor. That's why. See, it's on the second floor. And everything's going on the first floor, so they couldn't get there.
Clovertack saying it's a party venue, so he's wondering if it was a gun-free zone. Most of those are because of alcohol. Yes, certain states. I don't know how Pennsylvania, I don't think it matters. I'm not sure. I don't drink anymore, so it's like it's kind of irrelevant to me. But I'm not sure the laws on alcohol and firearms in PA.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Well, you don't drink
it varies state to state. Some of it's
right.
If we smell so much as smelling around you, you're getting thrown to the ground. And other, it's if the legal limit's 0.08, then you can have up to 0.02 or 0.04.
Right.
Well, see, Midnight doesn't drink anymore, and Roll Call doesn't drink any less. So
that is why either Midnight or me is the keeper of the bottle opener.
There you
go. I took up his extra drinking.
There you go.
Yeah, Pennsylvania's always been you cannot have a firearm in or around alcohol.
And think it's South Dakota, because I'm within an hour of the border. You cannot go in a liquor store or any establishment or eatery that generates like 50 or 51% of its revenue from liquor sales. I know it's all kinds of weird.
Yep, and you're supposed to know that, so
yeah, and that's how it is.
All those stats before you go in there.
Well, see,
that's how it is with smoking in Pennsylvania, with smoking in a bar or whatever, or smoking in a restaurant. You have to have
in the boys' room.
Yeah, if you have like 75% of your 50 or 75% of your sales are liquor or alcohol in general, you can still smoke in the establishment. So
and it's a private club or private organization.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, if it's public, and that I remember when that law came out, there were certain places that they were right on that line, and they didn't want to lose the ability for people to smoke in the building, so they like cut their food down a little bit, like limited their menu, kept it cheaper stuff, so the sales amounts, weren't as big. Because they didn't want to lose their clientele that they had.
Well, you guys have a good night. I wanted to share these interesting stories with you.
Absolutely. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Calaveras is asking, can a designated driver be armed at a house party? I mean, I guess it depends on the state, because they're saying that, it's a house party too. Like, that's different than a bar. So,
yeah, it's a private.
It's a private home.
Yeah, see now.
Right.
Arizona, that's different, because private or not, unless you have a permit, you are not permitted in any establishment, whether it be private or person, or whether it be private for a party like that, and be consuming alcohol. If you have a permit, you can be there.
He's talking about as a non-drinker.
I understand that. Yeah. Now, in Arizona, yes, he's perfectly legal to do that as long as he has a permit. If he doesn't have a permit, then he's in violation, or they would be in violation.
So the moral of the story is read your state statutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And reread them every August or June or whenever your new laws go into effect.
Yeah, it's tough to keep up on stuff, man. Unless you're in a community like we are, where there's constantly people sort of giving you updates and talking about current events and stuff. Like it's hard, man. It's hard to keep up on stuff.
That's a reason to belong to your state organization, your state 2A organization. At least if you have a good one like ours, they constantly are putting out new stuff.
Yeah.
Your first rule of thumb is don't ask law enforcement about the law and firearms.
Right.
Okay, because and I say that, coming from that field, because 99% of them don't know. And then when you contradict them or try to school them on it, they get pissed off. And it's like, well, I'm sorry that you're a dumbass and you don't know this, but you should, and you don't. So, seek out an instructor or something along those lines and ask them, because they'll definitely know and keep you in the right direction.
It changes on a drop of a hat too. It does with Pennsylvania now that we're in somebody was asking me about it the other day. I think it was Kingpin, somebody's chat. They were talking, or was it Obnoxious? It might have been your chat. I don't remember. They were talking about the carry laws in PA, like if you don't have a permit, if you do have a permit, and it changed. I mean, it's kind of weird to begin with, but then it changed even more because of the state of emergency, because the opioid crisis. I don't think it allows you to open carry right now. I don't think we're allowed to open carry unless you have a permit right now, where before you could.
Yeah, see, then the problem with Pennsylvania too, being that it's a state and a commonwealth, every time this piece of case law comes out and somebody spits in the sidewalk the wrong way, and this contradicts this. Okay, well, now it's case law, so now it's good. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. You're a violation of the state constitution. That doesn't matter. It's case law, so it's good. No, it isn't.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to, and I've said it before. I'm horrible when it comes to reading like legal jargon. I suck. It's foreign language for sure. Good rule of thumb.
It's called legalese. Yeah.
Like
that?
Is Sarge out there?
No.
Sarge, C for defense. Sarge, C for defense. Please pick up your telephone.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I guess may as well just hang on to this stuff and take it to SHOT Show because since he's never around.
Calavera says, if I'm at a private residence and someone starts drinking, I have to disarm. That's interesting.
You're in California. That's like walking through the front lawn of someone who's got like 50 dogs. You got to tread carefully or you're going to step in shit.
No, I think he was asking, and no, that's not. If someone has a drink at a private residence, that's totally different. I don't think any state would.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't know. The only way I could see that affecting you is if, for whatever reason, the cops showed up, and then 6 months, a year down the road, when if a lawsuit comes up that the state decides, oh, well, the residence was selling liquor, or was an unlicensed liquor seller, and trying to get you that way, but that'd be like a real trying to get the one little piece of spaghetti still on the wall kind of thing.
No, if you're at a barbecue and Bubba over there opens his Pabst Blue Ribbon roll call and you're carrying, you don't have to quit carrying.
Roll call is not a Bubba.
But then again, this is California, so yeah, in California, if you're within 15 miles of an open container, then you're in trouble. Now, see, like I said, the way it's worded here in Arizona is if you're at an event, be it public and or private, and they're serving alcohol to the public, then you fall under you must be permitted to even be there. And if not, you cannot carry. And under no circumstances can you consume.
HVS says at Whiskey Row Pub, the staff said an off-duty cop came in armed and drunk and started waving gun around, so employees took away his gun and threw him out. If you believe what they told me, he said, I drank whiskey and waved gun on all my live streams. It's a big deal, right?
True, but that's usually in your own private domicile.
Shoot whatever hole in any wall you want there. It doesn't matter.
No, wait. I think HVS is in a condo, so not any wall. If you're within 15 miles of California, you're in trouble.
Yeah, be selective. Be careful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Just remember, if you're going to do something stupid, it's best not to have an audience.
Yeah, only do it in your basement, and make sure you miss the outlet cover.
Yeah, there you
go.
Too
soon.
Or the water pipe.
Hit the outlet
Hashtag
cover.
too soon.
You gonna dig that slug out of there or what?
And whatever you
I'm still debating that.
Don't put it up on a YouTube video.
Did that? I just wondered. Did that outlet cover have to change its underwear after that day?
No, but Obnoxious probably did.
Yeah, if I'd been wearing any.
Had to clean the floor.
He had to throw out the whole roller chair. He was Porky Pigging it.
Hopefully, it wasn't one of those mesh chairs. That would have.
His wife probably said, "Did the dogs do that on the floor?"
Yeah. It would have been like a Play-Doh Fun Factory underneath him. Yeah, wow.
Okay, now I gotta breathe.
All right. Anybody else have anything for tonight? Anything going on? If not, we'll keep this a little bit short tonight.
Yeah, just remember, don't mention the, Washington D.C. rally next week.
I told you not to talk about that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about the two-way rally at the Capitol
Guys, don't listen.
in D.C. on
Why
the
the hell
2nd
don't
of
you guys
November.
listen?
Because I'm molten senile and had a senior moment. And I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to talk about the two-way rally in D.C.
I just do it because I know it pisses you off, and I get a small amount of entertainment from it. Because I am an asshole. An asshole with a wonderful speaking voice.
I'm an asshole with a horrible speaking voice and a horrible impersonation of ape.
No, you're doing a horrible impersonation of a registered trademark of Hanna-Barbera. which is owned solely by Time Warner, Warner Brothers, and Turner Classic.
That's Alan Inger.com, folks.
Hey, boo-boo, let's whip some picnic baskets and beat the ranger over his head so he keeps taking our picnic baskets.
Caliber says, obnoxious one. Sorry, man. You were brave to post yours. Didn't mean to make fun of you. I call bullshit on that. He absolutely
I'm definitely calling bullshit on that.
Didn't mean to make fun of you. It's like, you mean after he did whatever he did after he's like, oh man, that was the biggest accident I made. Oops, I made fun of him. I highly doubt.
Oops, I did it again.
I mean, we're all big enough men in here. We can admit that we meant to make fun of obnoxious.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, when you say big enough,
not all of us are big men.
Big enough. You only have to be this tall to make fun of obnoxious. It's no big deal. It's like when you go to Hershey Park, they have the rides. They're like different. They're different height. Like, well, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup can ride this ride, and then the Mounds and Almond Joy or whatever can ride this ride. You're tall enough to make fun of obnoxious. You're like a Hershey squirt. You're just a little fella.
Hershey squirt. That sounds like after you eat too many kisses.
No, that sounds like an exceptionally non-politically correct name for a midget wrestler of a non-white persuasion.
Yeah. HBS says 2A rally has Fight Club rules. You don't talk about Fight Club. Did you guys see the story about the dementia patient Fight Club, like the old? You want to hear a goddamn story? You want to hear a story about
I saw it, but I forgot about it.
I was looking it up earlier. Let me see here.
It was either Winston-Salem or Greensboro. I'm not sure which one.
By the way, real quick, Gary, I was the only one in the room that got that. That was pretty damn funny. Just want to say that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Gary talk.
Did you listen?
No. What'd you say?
No.
What? It was Gary.
He's talking about the dementia or something like that, and I said, "Yeah, I heard about it, but I forgot about it."
But all right, you want to hear? Here you go. Where's Budget? Budget needs to be here for this one.
Where's Budgie?
Where's Budget at? Because he could talk. This could be his vile, horrible, miserable, rotten, no good piece of shit, loser, asshole, scumbags of the week. Where's my little
roll call? Where's roll call?
Yeah, where's my little skull guy? Elderly care staff accused of running a dementia fight club, pitting patients against one another. Is there anything else you need to read? Do we really need to read this? But there they are. Assholes.
No. Fake news. They're not white. Only white people do that.
Well, there was one with a daycare too down south somewhere a couple of years ago, where they were had 3-year-olds fighting each other, and they had that on camera too.
There's something wrong with that. I mean, I used to do that. With my kids.
That would be cool.
Do that with my kids all the time.
Yeah, probably
that would be cool, but no.
3 women have been charged with creating a makeshift fight club at an elderly care facility in North Carolina. These fighters were the dementia patients under their care at Danby House, an assisted living facility in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, police say.
That's because they're all witches.
Miserable.
Now, I'm being, in all honesty, were they betting on this, or?
That's what I'm looking at, because, I mean,
what's the point of betting? Unless it's just entertainment, I guess.
Just miserable people, right? I mean, there's just we all know people. There's just horrible, rotten fucking people out there in the world, you know. There's video of it too.
I don't get that.
They were fired in June. It doesn't say anything about motivation. I guess we'll say that, right? None of the victims who were filmed suffered injuries from the fighting. It's sad, the whole situation, he said, noting the victims' cognitive troubles. Lieutenant Gregory Dorn told the police officer.
Let's just look at that. They're facing misdemeanors.
Wow.
Right.
I mean, in all seriousness, though,
14th.
If these people can convince, if they can convince them to do that, they could probably honestly convince them to do whatever. I mean, that's terrible.
Which come with a maximum penalty of 150 days incarceration and a discretionary fine. There is a dude in New Jersey that got a Purple Heart for our country that had 2 30-round magazines, and he is facing 36 months.
And didn't even have the rifle to put them in.
Didn't have the ammo. Didn't have the rifle.
Mm-hmm. This is a
Clover's
fucked up
is
world.
so wrong. So wrong.
It is. It is. It doesn't make it less funny. Doesn't make it less funny, but it's wrong.
No.
That's fucked up.
Especially coming from
your
Clover.
damn language.
Oh, sorry. First rule of Dementia Fight Club: pick the fighters that can't remember they participated in the Dementia Fight Club. That's horrible.
You, sir, are going to hell. But then again, so is everybody else, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, so...
Wait, I thought we were already there.
No, this is a closer.
Hell
is much nicer than this place.
He's right. He said if something bad would have went down, would have happened, they would have been charged with worse. Sure. But I can't believe how is it not neglect,
it's called
neglect charge?
That's a felony.
Yes, neglect of a senior citizen or something. And if you're a nurse and you don't take care of a patient well enough, you can get charged with a felony.
Yeah, if they get a rash because you didn't turn them over every so often,
right, bed sore or something, right?
Yeah,
you're
in trouble.
But you can Thunderdome a bunch of old people and try and that's just like yeah, it's pretty shitty, but
you're gonna misdemeanor, but you can go to work at the next nursing home down the road.
I mean, it's got to be a lot more fun than sitting there playing bingo all damn day, though.
Well, true. I mean, that may not.
No.
I mean, at the time, it may not have been a bad thing for them to have today.
I should say too. Before I forget, there is a GoFundMe started to get Gary some headgear and some new boxing gloves. So
just remember to send all PayPal payments to GeorgeGraysonCat@gmail.com.
That's right.
And send all complaints to shooting left of center at
gmail.com.
I'm sitting with a jock strap and a mouth guard. Both are slightly used, but don't worry.
Don't get them mixed up.
Please send all other mail to yankingitwithshooty@tinder.com.
Yeah, send all complaints for tonight's show. Shooting Lester Center. This is boy, I'll tell you what, man. The description of this show would be, if I went through and did a good, solid description of all the articles we did, it'd be pretty fancy.
You'd be off YouTube in a heartbeat.
Yeah, Olaf banging, old people punching. Like,
if you smorgasbord.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'll tell you what. This is probably been one of the more interesting shows, news-wise, for sure.
Here, let me tell you.
We certainly covered a conglomerate of topics.
Yeah,
ranging from both ends of the scale.
Smorgasbord.
We definitely handled it all.
I just want to commend Ape, though. If you look at his patch panel, he is not flagging obnoxious with any one of those guns. He has both rifles pointed the opposite direction and that mini revolver.
Yeah, but I do have that other single action.
Well, he should really switch the shotgun and the rifle places. That way they're both pointing at his head.
One of them is upside down. One of those revolvers is upside down.
Over there. I couldn't see that one from
Nah, it's not really flagging him. It's more like flagging maybe the top of Kool-Aid Man's beret. All right, sorry. High fructose corn syrup dried compressed fruit drink.
Chocolate pudding. There was Poor Conservative said there was news. Yeah. HVS said, did you talk about Baghdadi takeout yet? No, I didn't really talk about that.
That sounds like a bad restaurant to eat at.
Is that Kevin the Baghdadi?
Is that called like Tack Daddy? So it just chills. Never mind.
He's a rapper. He's Puff Baghdadi.
If your bag is puffy, it's you might have an infection.
That's true.
It's called elephantitis.
No, I think it's called worms.
Oh, that too. So you got that going for you. Yeah, I don't know enough about it other than it happened.
It's a shame that there's no way for you to get news on what happened. I mean,
it's a shame I don't have a bunch of people with wrenches and fucking 7 people in the damn chat that could pull a little something up, huh?
Hey, I'm busy.
I already pulled up 2 articles for you tonight.
I don't have a wrench, so I'm out of here.
I ain't pulling anything up. I got my camera on.
Puff Baghdadi.
Puff Baghdadi.
I did see the one article I did pull up. It was funny that they didn't say he was killed. They said he died.
He was eliminated.
I thought he was killed like a dog or something is what Trump said. The little thing I saw on Facebook.
He killed himself.
He went out like a dog or something. That's what Trump said.
You got to remember, they don't use the blunt words anymore. They didn't kill terrorists. They depopulated the area. Or they neutralized them.
Yeah, neutralized, yeah.
They ceased to be.
Well, I'd have said they killed him.
They are no more.
Baghdadi has ceased to be.
Death of Baghdadi leaves ISIS with no obvious successor. The killing of ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi.
Now it's fuckface.
Right. The killing of ISIS leader fuckface in a U.S. raid in northwestern Syria Saturday night is a blow against the terrorist organization. While ISIS may have a succession plan in place, it is likely not known to a very small number of the organization's senior leadership.
HVS is saying, yes, most dangerous terrorist in Syria blew himself up and injured a U.S. Army dog's front paw.
Damn it.
Oh, yeah, I did hear, the dog was injured.
I think I gotta nuke the country then.
House Foreign Affairs Chairman over Trump's refusal to tell Democrats about Baghdadi raid problematic and insulting. I did hear that they were pissed off that he didn't.
Anything Trump does, they'll immediately jump up and say, "It was the wrong thing to do."
Well, yeah, the news was putting it out like there was something good, and the Democrats had to come up with some reason it wasn't good.
Yeah, that's because Trump did it. That's why.
Yeah. If Trump came out tomorrow and said, "Hey, you know what? This stuff that's made out of oxygen and hydrogen is really good. Water's good, and so is oxygen." Every Democrat would probably stop drinking water and hold their breath.
Hey, let's try that.
Because he didn't seek permission from the upper class there.
Jorge's here. Time to cut it off.
Yeah.
Jorge, you missed news galore today, buddy. Where the hell have you been?
Yeah, but the Stros won.
This cares
about Company and Dementia
Nobody
Fight
cares
Club.
about the baseball.
Baseball.
Is that the whole thing? Did they win the whole thing?
Good to me.
The baseball? Did they win the whole thing or no?
No.
No, it wasn't the World Series or whatever. It wasn't the final game.
World Series, but it's not the final game.
Right, not the final game.
Not
the World Series. It's only a World Series because there's one team from Canada. What the hell?
No, it's been the World Series since the 1900s.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even before, but even before there was
it was. You got to remember, we as the U.S. have had a very, what's the nice way of saying?
The world.
Yes, kind of. Remember that thing in Futurama where Fry's talking to Leela and Fry says, "Oh, I don't know why would I want to have to, or why should I vote for president of the world? I'm in America." And Leela says, "America is part of the world." And Fry says, "Wow, I have been gone a long time."
It is pretty arrogant to say it's a World Series and you don't play anybody from anywhere else.
I don't know. We're pretty big or MLB is still pretty big in Japan.
Yeah, but they don't send the Japanese team doesn't come over here to play an American team.
No, they just send their players over here to play American teams.
Because it's cheaper to send the player.
That does happen. That's true. But still.
I mean, every Texan out there is so excited about this. They're like, we haven't had a winning professional team in so long, they forgot what it's like. It's like, we remember when the Cowboys were good.
Yeah, then Brokeback Mountain came out and it made you start questioning every decision in your life related to those assless chaps.
Yeah, I still wear mine. Only on weekends. Though.
Assless chaps.
Assless chaps.
My problem is sometimes the saddle kind of chaps me if I, wear
Well, you see, you need to use the proper leather butter. Keeps it soft and supple. Then your only problem is it might actually stick to your butt.
I just use pineapple on my saddle. I used to use linseed oil, but now I just use pineapple.
Yeah, don't use. Clover says not every Texan cares about this.
Well, you're a leprechaun. You don't really count as a Texan. You're like some kind of weird magical Irish transplant. Watch the Lakers Hornets game anyway.
It's okay to watch the Hornets because the Hornets is a
Charlotte, isn't it?
Caliber too.
No, that was stereotypical pink.
Japanese.
This is wrong.
Well, now pink. You see, that's the entire point. Is since they're smaller, their strike zone is a lot smaller.
Poor Conservative says, but 100 million people from all over the world tune into the World Series. Yeah, they tune into it, but they're not playing teams from other countries.
Yeah, 100 million out of, what are we, up to 3 billion people in the world now?
That's like it's the Super Bowl. It's super. Okay, that's cool. It's super. But the World Series?
No. Super Bowl is only for food.
Super Bowl. Super duper bowl.
Super duper bowl, then it will make you have a super duper bowel movement after all the shit you eat watching it.
It's ridiculous.
I'd rather watch college football any day.
Me too. Even if my Cowboys do suck. At least they didn't lose last weekend.
Sooners did.
Yeah, turn the luck. They all run their mouth. All these Sooners fans I'm friends with run their mouth all the time. And they lost to Kansas State, a crappy team.
They lost to Kansas State.
You know, nationally ranked Kansas State.
Everybody's
nationally this year.
They are now.
Everybody's nationally ranked. They might be like number 1 or number 2 out of whatever. But
Super Bowl is what I do. Well, now Clover, you need to stop making a Super Bowl like Angus Grill because you're just going to have That guy's wife get all mad because they don't give you the takeout bowls for your leftovers.
Yeah, she didn't get a Super Bowl when she tried to leave.
Yeah,
She gave her a
She's
crappy
probably
bowl.
so pissed about that, huh?
I bet
I
she
should have
is.
sent her a couple of to-go boxes just to she can take with her.
Hey,
next time.
you should send them. They're probably good. I'm sure he's going to go to Genghis when they come to Tulsa in 2 weeks. You better get them sent out.
Yeah.
That's funny there,
I'll tell you
Pink.
what, I'll call ahead. I'll call ahead for him and be like, hey, I got some very important clients coming in, and some bitch needs a takeout box. You better get her one.
Not one of
Or
them
the
cardboard
shit's
things
A
either.
plastic takeout.
Yeah. I don't want something recyclable. I want this son of a bitch to be around for years to come.
Plastic's recyclable. Pink, that is both funny, bad, and true all at the same time. Baghdad would have been in it, but instead of baseballs, they played with grenades and blew themselves up in the first game.
Ouch.
Uh-oh.
What's up, Honda?
What's up? How you guys doing tonight?
How'd the show go? I didn't get a chance to watch. I watched about 5 minutes of it. A little bit more than 5 minutes. I came in and out. I was giving the little guy a bath while you guys were on, so I was kind of trying to listen a little bit, but didn't get much into it.
Oh, you're good.
Trying
Went
to-
pretty well. Went pretty
Trying
well.
to explain those words that Honda and everyone else was using.
I mean, I accidentally clicked on it for a second and heard P226 Nut say he wanted to move to Antarctica, and I was like, oh, that's enough for me.
Yeah, I think that guy's high.
He's always seems to be on.
Look what I got.
that.
Oh, look at that little pew pew. Pew pew pew.
Little pea shooter.
Little 642
There you go.
downloaded.
No, that's a 38, not a 357, right?
Yeah, it's 38. Actually, I was just watching a Paul Harrell video about what ammo I should buy, and apparently it's not the ammo that my gun store had, so I need to get new ammo now.
Too bad you don't have the internet.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah. Or
I mean, that's what led me to know that I had a problem in the first place. It's those known unknowns versus the unknown unknowns.
What are you looking for that they don't have?
Well, according to Paul Harrell, I need the Buffalo Bore regular pressure 128 grain semi-wad cutter 38 special.
Jesus Christ!
And I found
it
on I found it on Midway. It's on the way. So
yeah, but I was
Okay,
saying, no wonder you can't
just,
find it at your local shop.
just a word of advice with the exposed lead 38s. Have those in your cylinder and have something else in your speed loader. Because if your speed loader is jingling around in your pocket, that lead's going to deform after about a month or so, or it's going to get all beaten up.
I always just take my tongue and lick it and reshape it.
yeah, I was gonna
there you go.
wipe it into my beard, you know.
Kind of stick up your nose and sharpen it like a pencil.
There you go. That'll work.
What's the justification for exotic? What's the justification for exotic ammo being good for carry on the streets of the United States, where there's a lawsuit behind every even brandish, let alone pull the trigger?
Well,
he was saying that it was because it's not plus P, so it's it like keeps the same like grouping that your normal ammo would keep. It doesn't have like a weird ammo like weight to the bullets or whatever, and that the wad cutters are good for not over penetrating but giving you good expansion with the soft lead. And they show it with ballistic tests, and it doesn't have like some weird name. It's just Buffalo Bore is the name of the company.
So you're saying that the 148 regular wad cutters, kind of like this little bugger here, not a semi-wad cutter, right?
Maybe it was a semi-wad cutter. Hold on, let me look.
Okay, because the 158 semi-wad cutter 38s was kind of like the standard police loading for decades before hollow points kind of became a big thing.
Right.
Actually, I take that back. It was a 158 round nose lead for decades, and they decided that the semi-wad cutters did a better job of wounding. Excuse me.
cutting wads.
Yep, it is 158 grain semi-wad cutters. That's right.
Yeah.
Bullet point.
Yeah. Yeah, so, okay, so they are hollow. Yeah, so, because the first stuff I carried when I got my first concealed carry gun was not a Ruger, Taurus Model 85, and the Remington green and white box, 125 grain, semi-jacketed hollow point plus Ps. They've got like a 3/4 jacket on them, and the rest is exposed lead, and it's a hollow point. Those rolling around your pocket for a month or so, it really kind of closes up the hollow point. So
yeah, I can see that.
I mean, I'm just glad they weren't wad cutters, because if they were, they'd have probably been Olaf's.
158 grain Olaf's.
Poor Olaf.
Yeah, how about it? And a unicorn. And a unicorn to boot. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
And then he says, I let it
you
go.
weren't in Florida lately, were you?
How what?
You weren't in Florida lately, were you?
Well, that is my alternative ego as Florida man.
How's oh, shit.
And that unicorn.
Oh, man, we had a Florida man article today.
Yeah, I am responsible for all kinds of atrocities.
Poor Olaf.
Just look at the news, man. I'm all over it.
My ghost.
My ghost.
158 is a great weight for 38. Yeah, 158 is super common.
Yeah, it's
my
what it was built around.
I have some 158 grain wad cutters, but I load target for the 38 that we have. It's 100 and I bought them just because they're cheap. They were super cheap. They were on sale. They're like 125 grain lead, flat nose truncated or something
Flat
weird.
nose, round nose, flat point. Kind of like.
I don't think so. I think they're.
They kind of blunt, round and blunt like this.
No, I feel like they're the truncated, the for flat nose pyramid looking thing. You know what I mean?
Like they just kind of like they went from bullet diameter, made a cone, and just chopped off most of the points.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They got them really
like Winchester white box.
Yeah, they were on sale from like Midway or something. One day I was ordering something. I was ordering stuff and I got them like super cheap.
So I did have a gun question, since you guys probably know a little bit about guns, right? Hopefully.
What are guns? I heard they're evil.
They're bad,
especially if they're black.
So for the 642, and I don't need it, but the trigger is a little bit heavy. You know, they make a spring kit for like $8. Does that should I get that, or should I just
before you spend money on it, get some snap caps loaded up and just sit there when you get home from work and just work the trigger.
Yeah,
kind of get it broken in before you start spending money on doing that, because there's a lot of kind of little fiddly bits in the. Now you said trigger spring, because there's a trigger return spring, and then there's your main spring.
Hammer spring.
Yeah, changing out the hammer spring is.
Springs.
Yeah, changing out the hammer spring is a little. It's kind of easy. It's
get a paper clip and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's just getting that spring back on the.
There's going to the range, and there's shooting for accuracy at distance, and there's honing in a tool or a product for, having fun on weekends or whatever. And then there's the lethal consequence, or there's the financial and freedom consequence of every time you even brandish, let alone pull a firearm and then shoot one. So I don't understand all this.
Okay, so if you want to change that hammer spring, do you have a drill press at home?
Yep.
So
you have a drill press. That's the easiest thing to do.
guns to the range and play with those all you want, and then just learn how to shoot your gun and leave a stock gun in your pocket every single day. When you go to court, got 100 less things you're giving the prosecuting attorney, who's got nothing else to do but spend the other guy's money, which is going to be was your money, on taking your money from you. It's ridiculous. Why would you even consider doing an $8 mod to a gun you're going to have to take to court?
Which is never going to get brought up anyway.
Yeah, ignore it, I guess. Just ignore what I'm saying. Go buy $8 parts and fuck with the gun you're going to take to court. The gun that not just isn't going to save your life and with the machine it is, it's going to save your life in court. Or maybe it's going to put you away. Or I'm wrong. I guess I'm wrong. Don't only look at the webcam footage of lethal force incidents. Don't look anything at the boring part about the actual consequences to finances and freedom.
Yeah, I do. I look at that stuff all the time, and that stuff is never brought up. Customizations are never brought up, or very, 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 very little, unless, of course, it says, you know, I've come to kill everybody here. Yeah, you got something stupid like that. Customizations, internal customizations of your Glocks, your revolvers. All you're doing is enhancing what's already there.
I see what you're seeing.
I just care about you because
that's why
you're
I'm
a friend
asking.
of mine who talks to me. You're just a friend of mine that talks to me. I don't care what you spend your money on or not. I just can't imagine why you'd want to tinker with something that you gotta your life is depending on, your kids' life's depending on, and the financial future of you. So go ahead and buy $8 shit and put it in there all you want. But you have other guns. Go fiddle with your lever action, which you're never gonna have to go to court for. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm a stock carry guy. Stock. I kind of feel the same way. I don't think I'm not the kind of person that wants to.
You know, live conversation 6 years from now, somebody will go, "Oh, it never comes up." Oh, except for that one guy from Colorado. Yeah, but it never comes up. Buy the $2 trigger.
Hmm.
Just get it broken in, Honda.
The snap cap thing is a good. If you don't have snap caps for it, that's a good thing to get.
No, I don't. I don't have snap caps for it right now.
Put the $8 towards some snap caps.
That's
the
the first
good
thing
A-Zoom aluminum snap caps.
Not the first thing I buy, but yeah, I don't use the A-Zoom ones. I have the ones that are like the red ones with the brass bottoms. Tipton
Traditions.
Are they? No. But if you go to like Bass Pro Shop sells their Range Max ones are the same. They're like a red plastic, and then they have a spring in them, and they have the brass back the brass back, and they work really good. I like those a lot. But those that's like one of the first things I buy when I get a gun. I always buy snap caps with it. And just play. It gives you a chance to play with it. It gives you a chance to work it in. This 223 bolt that I have, I don't even have a scope. I've never shot it. I don't even have a scope on it. But just playing with it for a couple of days, for 15, 20 minutes at a time over a couple of days, you can feel it even. And that's kind of a good test too, because you're not putting any wear and tear on anything else other than squeezing the trigger and dropping the hammer and working the bolt and stuff. I could definitely feel it smooth out just from 100 or so works of the action and pulls of the trigger.
Well, and I can see the spring is compressing a little bit the more you pull the trigger too, and that would kind of negate the fucking the spring kit anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why I'm asking. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, is it really worth it? I mean, according to G-Web's, absolutely fucking not, and I'm taking that into consideration because I respect what he says. I'm going to get all mad about it, though, I mean, I'm honestly listening.
It's a double action hammerless, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get used to that double action.
Probably going to have a shitty hammer anyway.
Well, I mean, I didn't shoot bad with it, honestly.
They got a hammer which has existed since 1950 when they invented the thing. So the hammer is designed to not go off in your pocket accidentally. So all I'm saying is there's a stage on every double action hammerless revolver from Smith, and you can either get used to like getting it to that go. There's got to be videos from dudes who actually know how to shoot that old guys will either pull to the stage and then single action it, or they'll just get used to manhandling it straight through to firing it. So you just got to get used to firing both ways. Don't worry about making the gun to you. You figure out how to shoot your gun.
Yeah. Honda, said you just finished watching Paul's video on it. Did you watch his last 3 where it was on the revolvers for personal defense and his how to shoot the double action?
No, dude. I know how to
I'm
shoot the double action.
I'm just asking.
Girl trying to like teach me something like I'm like brand new to this. Like I just wanted a little bit lighter trigger because it would be easier to shoot. Not that I wasn't able to.
No, we're not.
6 groups of 5 shots there. I think each one of them had 1 flyer. That's what I'm trying to get rid of. And that's first time I ever shot it. If I shot it a bunch, I'm sure I'd do better. But I mean, I was just the first time I shot it, I was like, geez, this is a heavy trigger. Hey, internet, heavy trigger. Oh, there's an $8 trigger spring kit. Let me ask my friends about it. Here we are.
What was I going to say? No, it's for me. It's just kind of the logical thing of instead of throwing parts at it, just kind of put a couple more boxes through it. Because
and it's going to be personal preference on whether you want to do that or not.
Yeah. My personal preference was I had on the counter a 438, which is the shrouded hammer, and one just like yours. And that was actually a performance center. And to me, the double action on the shrouded hammer, the 438, felt a lot smoother and lighter than it did on the double action only. So.
It's honestly not bad.
No.
It's smooth. It's just heavy.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And it should be about 12 pounds.
Yeah. But definitely get snap caps if you're going to do some dry fire practice, because that's the alloy frame. And if you look on the back of it where your fired round would be, you could see they've got like a hardened steel insert pressed into the back of the frame. Yep. Let me click on you there. Yep, right on top, right above where your cylinder locks up. And if you just let your firing pin go completely forward without anything to kind of slow it down, or I don't want to say catch it, but slow it down, it will kind of wear it a little bit, but that there's tolerances and small burrs that are in there that'll kind of wear away just through the natural usage.
Now, what do you think about laser Hogue grips? Not that I would need them for aiming, but I think that's a pretty good deterrent. Like if you're going to pull your gun,
I think that's the only reason I like. That's the only reason I personally like a laser. I mean, I think it can be a decent deterrent.
The only drawback to that in the 630 series is that grip is so small. Once you bring up your second hand, you're going to cover the laser.
Yeah, it's well, it depends on which of the laser grips you get. You said Hogue. I have no experience with the Hogue laser grips, but I do have several sets of the Crimson Trace. The boot grips, that are a copy of like what you have on there now, except they have the laser module. They make those in a hard plastic. I've tried those on an SP-101, and that gun moved around in my hand after firing, even 38s, a lot. Just whatever plastic they're using is slick. So you can get the rubber overmolded ones that are it's going to add maybe enough for you to get half a pinky or a pinky on the bottom of. But let's see, you're going to be pocket carrying it, so that little bit extra that a laser grip would add on the bottom might cause it to where it's going to be a little bit hard or get caught up on your pocket when you draw.
Well, if you have depending on if you're going to pocket carry it too, like I don't know, would you want a grip that's going to have some stickiness like the rubberized overmolded grips do?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're gonna be grabbing the grip anyway, so it's not going to be an
Okay.
issue.
That's true. Yeah, I guess you would want it would help you hold on to it if you're pulling it out. Yeah.
And actually,
I was thinking about
part of the
like
grip
maybe
keeps it from sliding around in your pocket too.
Yes,
Oh,
and
that's
after
true.
you carry it for a while, the initial kind of tackiness of the rubber kind of goes away because all the lint and stuff will kind of stick to it. So we'll get to that kind of happy medium of where it's not super super tacky, grabbing everything, but it'll still give you a nice grip on your hand. Excuse me for a minute.
That's true. I was thinking about it the other way. Like, what if the other way? But it's not like once your hand's on the grip's totally pretty much covered by your hand anyway, so it doesn't matter.
You're saying you were asking if you should get a laser grip?
Yeah, it was another thing that I was looking at getting, not necessarily just,
Yeah, a laser grip is 100% necessary for a little revolver. It's super useful. That rubber one that Ape was talking about is 100% the way to go. You're not just, it's not some kind of bullshit, anything you've ever seen for a laser in a movie or whatever. It's real life. Something's happening and somebody's got your kid and you're pointing that gun around a corner and you can see through some hole in something. With that laser, you know where you're hitting that thing. So with that little gun, that laser, it makes that gun from 0 to hero. I wouldn't even carry one if it wasn't for those laser grip options. So I'd highly recommend it. You can engage it and disengage it with just the squeeze. And it's a better grip anyway. That Crimson Trace rubberized one is a better grip than the Smith & Wesson one. And yeah, everything about the laser grip is good to go. So it's going to cost you as much as the gun almost.
Yeah, I think I was looking at them. They're like 150 to 200 depending.
Oh, then they're cheaper than they used to be.
I think they had one for 110 that was used, but I wouldn't want to get a used grip unless it was just like they open the box and send it back and they're calling it used or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess depends on what used is, because used could be, yeah, like something that was like a demo at the store where people were just handling it versus, yeah, something that somebody had and, sent it back. Something that was somebody had and sent back, I'd be probably even a little bit more worried about because you don't know what it was through. But if it's only another $40, I mean, that's something you can. I think that's something you spend the money on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. That's why I didn't. I was just saying, throwing out the prices that I found anyway.
Take it and use it a lot. Play with it a lot. Turn it on and off a lot. Try and make. If it's gonna fail. If it's going to fail, try and make it fail early, so send it back and do whatever. I've never had a Crimson Trace. I don't know how the company is. They've been around and popular. They make stuff for everything, so I'm sure I don't know how their customer service is, though.
Well, what's the thing that usually fails with those little laser pointer battery thing? It's the battery connection, the spring getting too compressed or whatever from the recoil. And that usually depends on the size of battery and which direction it's pointed.
On the
bigger battery and it's pointed in the same direction.
I don't know that they're made like
I'm just saying, like for lights and other things that go on guns, that's usually what I found is the problem with them.
My microphone on?
If it's like a little tiny battery and it's facing the other way, it's probably okay.
Yeah, it is a.
Okay, on the Crimson Trace, they use the two CR 2032 batteries. And all it is a little piece of sheet metal that acts as a contact between them, and then another little piece that kind of connects like this. So your batteries are sitting this way. And I will say the only issue I've had with Crimson Trace, let me pull up my actual screen here so I can see what I'm doing. No, I don't want to select my name. I want to select that. I have an SP-101 that's been living in my vehicles for the past 10 years, The only issue I had was this little bit of rubber here on the switch going bad. Otherwise, Honda, this is the little bit larger rubber grip that I was talking about for the Crimson Trace. Kind of see how you can get your pinky on there compared to
I
regular boot grip.
I was looking at those. I would want the smaller grip one because it is going to be a pocket carry, so I don't want a big grip on it.
Well, here's the thing. I could pocket carry this for years. It's just, if you're pocket carrying, you got to find a good pocket. With the holster, and the trick I was told, when you're trying on pants, put your hand in your pocket and make a fist, and if you can pull it out of there without any resistance or with minimal, then it's probably good because you're going to be grabbing that like that. So
whenever you go to try on pants, you're going to remember that. Just cram your fist into your pocket and out and in and out and in and out over and over. You might get a discount on your pants.
Yeah.
The girl outside the tryout room is going to be concerned.
Sir, are you okay?
He's fisting his pants. I don't know what to do.
I really like.
Sir, are you okay? Yeah, I'm just fisting my pants. No problem. Everything's great in here.
I mean, even with something that's like this ridiculously large grip.
Like James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is... the regular grip's going to be like that extra half-inch or so less, but... Otherwise, every once in a while, Midway will throw these on clearance for like $5. They're those weird Delta grips.
Yeah, that is weird.
Where'd I put my screwdriver?
Those work pretty well. It looks like it fills up your hand without taking
those allow porpoises. Those allow porpoises and crabs to use revolvers. It's a bad idea.
It's something that's on Midway's clearance for $5. It's one of those things where it's on there for a reason, but it's nice and I don't know. It's nice and gives you extra grip. It's just kind of different feeling.
It's for people that have
because your
problem like arthritis or something. Like it's not for regular.
Yeah, you see how much more that's going to stick down on your grip frame.
Yeah,
but
that's for people that are like, I don't care. I'm going to have my wife modify my pants. She'll make the pocket bigger.
Or I don't know. Honda seems to be a grown-ass man who can buy his own pants.
I prefer to pick them up used from the Goodwill down the street.
So not only are you growing the hipster beard, you're going for the hipster vintage look.
The only way I get pants is the authentic way. I get naked, I run down an alley, I find some bum, and I rip his pants off, and then I run off.
Hey, man, did you see a real bright light?
That's how Terminator started.
That guy took my pants.
Here you go, Honda.
Well, they're already broken in that way.
Yeah, you leave that laying around, a dolphin gets it, hell breaks loose.
Well, I will say the one thing, it's hand filling, but it really does kind of, or since it's kind of blade-like, it does kind of really smooth it out.
Batman would like it.
I will say this though, shooting like regular 38s out of this wasn't too bad at all. Like with how light this gun is, and how small the grip is, I was thinking like, dude, this might suck a little bit. And maybe with like some potent plus P's or something like that, if you're shooting a bunch of them. And after 50 or so, I was ready to be done shooting, to be honest. Like I didn't really want to shoot more than that, but it wasn't as bad as I thought.
I will say this, if you move up to warmer loads, watch the knuckle of your offhand on this, or any knuckle. Don't ride it up against there. It will take a little bit of a chunk of flesh out.
Well, shit. Even my Rossi, it's a 357 revolver handgun. I've got another Rossi too. Is it's like all steel. It weighs more. You know, it's got like a fuller grip to it. And when you put like stout 357 in that, it's not much fun to shoot. It really isn't. It's not like a 686 where it's like a full size, 357 where you got a good grip on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It
likes to flip.
For controlling recoil, if you can get something where you can get, more than like a finger and a half or 2 finger grip on it, it really seems to help control it.
I mean, it's got the bird's head, so you can definitely get your third finger on it. But it's still like when you're shooting full power loads, it likes to kind of try to rip its way out of your hand, But it's amazing how much lighter this is than this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're good guns, and they're meant for.
Yeah, it does look like a flipper, huh?
Yeah, looks more like a nerfed Batarang half.
If somebody had a boating accident with that in Loch Ness, they'd think it was the Loch Ness Monster's flipper.
I mean, that's what they thought guns should look like in 1930 before anyone had really designed a new gun. They're like, this is the future of guns. And that was in the
no, that'd be a Fitz
Fair. That was the World's Fair handgun.
That'd be a Fitz special. It'd be moving. You'd have the front half of the trigger guard removed and a little bit moved off of here, so you get your finger there quicker. I don't know. They're different. They kind of concentrate the recoil to a point here rather than spreading it out.
It probably pushes more than flips too with that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of angle. It seems like a lot of angle.
Yeah, I mean I gotta move my camera back up. There we go.
So I was supposed to get Brazilian steak last Tuesday, but it got postponed until tomorrow. So I get to get Brazilian steak tomorrow instead.
Nice.
Get some picanha.
I didn't realize that your particular adult arcade was into cannibalism.
Mad Sexy says, tomorrow I'll be cooking ragu ribs in the crock pot. Any tips? Cat barbecue.
You talking catfish or cat?
Never barbecued cat. It's gonna be windy and dusty in California. I don't know, man. I mean, do them in a crock pot, then finish them on a grill would be bitching. That's what I like to do. Like braise them or something. Slow cook them, and then finish them just for like a minute or two on the grill, but with a little sauce. I like to glaze that sauce on there. But if you can't outside grill because of the weather or whatever, just slow cook them and then put the sauce on them and throw them under the broiler.
So there was this Ho-Ho's Dollar Scoop Chinese restaurant not too far from where I used to live in Aurora, Colorado, that if you look up in the papers, this is a true story. They got in trouble, I think it was 10, 12 years ago or something like that, for going to the Denver Dumb Friends League, the local animal shelter, and picking up dogs and cats, and then a couple days later they'd come get another dog or a cat, and then a couple days later they'd get another one. $1 a scoop.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest way to get meat, I guess. They got in huge trouble for it. But the thing was, it didn't go out of business. Because people don't read the paper.
What's a newspaper?
It was Denver Post.
Yeah, people are pretty clueless about what's going on. I mean, it's hard to... Like I said, man, it's hard to keep up on things for sure, but there's just so much going... It's hard to weed... I'll tell you what, it's really hard to weed through news. If you're not a news person or you're younger, I feel like it's pretty overwhelming.
It feels like it didn't used to be like that. It changed in the last 10 or 12 years or something.
Yeah, I remember sitting in my grandpa's house at dinner time, and they would turn the news on at like 5 o'clock or whatever when they had dinner, 5 or 6 or whatever it was. And that was the thing. You'd watch news and, you read the paper and, you talk to your friends and whatnot. But it's so overwhelming now because you're just getting news from all parts of the world, every second of every day, from all these outlets. Yeah.
It's the 24-hour news cycle.
Well, and it's also the thing that, the threshold of what is news has been lowered to a point where everything's news.
Yeah,
and the threshold for, what can be reported has gone away to where everything can be reported. And so regardless of, circumstance or fact-checking sometimes, or, everyone's trying to be first, everyone's trying to get those clicks, get that, that crazy clickbait title where everyone's gonna click on it and they're gonna make $1 million. It's all money, and it shouldn't be. It should be about journalistic integrity, and it's not. But that's nothing new. I mean, that's been going on for a while.
I feel like it's much different with the advertisers too, because you think about the standard regular old newspaper, they were doing what they did, and people would advertise in there to help their business, and they then in turn pay the newspaper to, which that's how they kept running or whatever. And now it just feels different. It feels like a more of a scam. It feels like they're, like you said, clickbait. It's almost like we got to be tricked into reading an article so that the advertisers, can get what they're looking for. And the writers or whoever, publishers of the article, get paid. It just seems more of a scam, a rat race, than it used to be. It just seemed like it used to be like everybody wants the news. They want it to be fair and unbiased or whatnot. And here's how we're going to make money. We're going to make money selling these ads, and that's how it's going to keep us going, Well, and it's seems like it's coming from the other side.
Well, it's specific targeted ads. Do an experiment. Go talk about something that you're going to buy that you have had no interest in buying in the past and no real intention of buying right now. But just talk about it with your cell phone off in your pocket. Screen's off, but the power's on. It's in your pocket. And just be like, well, I'm thinking about buying some horse feed because my horse is hungry and I need horse feed for my horse because the horse gets hungry and I need horse feed. And what kind of horse feed do they have, Spend 5 minutes talking about that. You'll start getting advertisements on your freaking Google, on your computer, not even on your phone. When you're surfing YouTube later that day, you'll be on your computer and it knows that it's linked to the same person. And it'll say, oh, well, here's your horse feed advertisement. We found it for you. Maybe you want to go to Horse and Track. Maybe you'd like to go to Field and Bush or whatever,
Yeah, I had a crazy one. I actually took a screen. I can't remember what it was now. I took a screenshot of one the other day, or a couple weeks ago, that was like that, talking about something. And
it's getting out of control, man.
Yeah.
Every time you click on a new app that you want for whatever, it's here's your 17-page agreement, if you want to use the app, you got to click yes. You can't amend it in any way. You can't say yes to this, this, and this, but no to that. It's yes to the whole thing or you don't get the app. Okay, cool. It's free, though. Don't worry how we pay for all of this. Oh, wait, it's selling your information, which is really you and what you do and where you go and who you hang out with and who you associate with and what the things that you buy are and how much your income is, so that we can specifically target you with ads today. But who knows what that's going to be in 20 years, Who knows what that's going to be in 10 years?
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be retroactively going back to people who have bought things that they don't like in 10 years. Boil that one on the pot.
Yeah, well.
Usually you boil stuff in a pot, not on it.
True.
Whatever. Frog chat's over anyway. I'm sorry.
It's a conspiracy. You can boil it. It's a conspiracy. You can boil it on a pot.
Dish I was supposed to ask you about, but I forgot what it was.
Who?
You. There's some type of like regional Pennsylvania dish or a name for a common dish that I was supposed to ask you about, but I forgot what it is.
Is that where you're at in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, yeah. Who was supposed to like who were you talking to? Somebody you know or somebody online?
Somebody online I was talking to last night. But it also reminds me they found, let's see if it's still in my history here, some type of golly gee whiz everlasting cook pans. Let's see, testing pencil hardness, custom molds. More fun than a hypercube.
What's birch beer?
Beer made from, it's a tree that's called a beer tree that's made from birch.
Mad Sexy wants to know would I load 556 by 45 to. I haven't loaded 556 yet. I have the stuff to do it, but I haven't done it. Poor Conservative says Scrabble. I love me some Scrabble. As long as it's good, as long as it's done well.
Square pig fat. Yum yum.
Pan.
Pierogi.
No, it's not pierogi. It's no, but Mad, not quite as sexy anymore. On the subject of, let me post this here. Paste. Loading 556. I did so a couple weekends ago, and then yesterday went out and shot a bunch of test loads in my Ruger Gunsight carbine. Seems like the 50 grain Hornady Z Max bullets.
Yeah, super light, huh?
No, 40. No, they make 40 and 35 grain bullets.
Yeah, I know they make them, but I mean that's pretty light.
No, standard XM193 is 50 grain or 55 grain.
Yeah.
No, they make lighter 556 ammo. Let me swing my camera around here. Well, actually, let's see if I could just tape this back up to my back.
Looking up Pennsylvania food, there's a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff. A lot of farmlands, a lot of German influence.
Yeah, a lot of Pennsylvania Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was this one thing that I was just looking at? Not head cheese. That was the one that I was just looking at.
Then you got pudding. Then you got scrapple. Scrapple is pudding.
Scrapple. That's
Scrapple,
the one.
That's what I was thinking.
Scrapple.
Scrapple. Scrapple's. I love Scrapple. Scrapple's. Basically, you're just cooking down. Well, you see it with pork and beef, but usually beef. And it's just.
Scrapple.
A square of
yeah,
fat.
it's cooked down meat, and then it's thickened with cornmeal. So usually you get a good shot of black pepper in there too. Sometimes you see some herbs and stuff in there, but usually not. Usually it's just salt and pepper, and then it's cooked down into like a soup almost, like really. It's kind of sloppy looking, I guess. And almost like a meat pudding, right? And then they add cornmeal to it, and then let it set, let it cool. And when it sets, you cut it into blocks, and then you cook it to order, slice it and cook it. Cast iron with cast iron works great. frying it works really good too. Just deep fry it. But for me, I like it cut kind of thin and then really crunchy on the outside, and it's really good. I got a year or two ago at a friend of mine whose dad, not a friend of mine, a guy I worked with at my other job. His dad, he lived on a farm, and his dad made it, and it was really good, really, really good. A lot of flavor. It cooked up really, really nice. Great. It makes a nice egg sandwich for breakfast, like scrapple cooked, like kind of crispy, crunchy, and instead of like sausage or bacon on a breakfast sandwich is pretty good. Lebanon bologna, right? Bologna, not bologna. Pork and service in Lebanon. If you like Lebanon bologna, or if you've never had, I mean, you can buy anything nowadays too. If you've never had it, buy it and get it and try it. It's super, super interesting stuff. Similar to I mean, it's a salami style thing. It's a cured meat, right?
And if you want to try something really good, do Lebanon bologna and cream cheese and roll them up.
That's it. People have that at picnics and stuff.
Yeah, those are killer. That and ring bologna. You don't get ring bologna down south, and you don't get it out west.
Yeah, if you do, and I'm serious. Like some of you guys, that are interested in food and stuff, get it. There's a company called Seltzer. Just spelled just like the drink, Seltzer.
Sorry.
And they do. They're from Lebanon, PA, and they do a double smoked beef Lebanon bologna. It's awesome. Sweet bologna. It'd be called a sweet bologna. So good.
Terrace bologna. The Lebanon terrace isn't that a thing?
Yep. Well, no. See, that's the thing. You got to say if you're from Pennsylvania, people outside of Pennsylvania will say Lebanon because they hear that on the news and stuff. If you're from PA, you just kind of slam the word together a little bit, and Lebanon, and they almost make it like it's an I, Lebanon, Lebnin, Lebanon,
Lebanon bologna,
Lebanon bologna. What else did he say up there? Shoe fly pie. Yeah, my wife doesn't like shoe fly pie. I do if it's made well. And it's just it's a molasses based. If you think about like a pecan pie, it has the brown, like the gooey kind of texture to it, kind of like that, but a little bit thicker and molasses based. So it's got a little bit of bitterness to it. And then a lot of times it has like a streusel or a crumble, like a Dutch apple pie.
Yeah, we got one sitting on the counter. The wife made one today.
You ever had sugar cream pie?
No, but I feel like somebody brought that up once.
It's like a Indiana kind of thing.
Like a milk pie, I think somebody called it, like a custard almost, but not, right?
Yeah, it's like a condensed milk with sugar, and I don't know how they do it exactly, but it's
was talking about that. That was Clovertack was talking about that, I think, one night.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I want to say they call it
a diabetic nightmare.
Well, Indiana doesn't have a excess of really thin people.
Neither does Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Here you go, Mad. That's what I did all yesterday. 50 grain VMAX, 55 grain. Exception of that was Hornady 55 grain pointed soft points. Then just a bunch of different factory ammo here. Down there's
really
20 AR upper. Well, here's the thing. Let me get this back up here because I can't back this up quite far enough. So these 3 rows here, that was all with the gun sight carbine. 50 grain Z-Max, just started at the bottom load that it showed in the book and just went up grain at a time till it got to maximum. Kind of see here, second from the, or not the lowest, but the second from the lowest, and like the second from the top kind of seem to group a lot better because there's 2 in that one here, then 2 more touching there. And then this was without adjusting the scope. You can see these 55 grains shot way lower and didn't really start tightening up until got to like near maximum right there. And yeah, 55 grain, I think these were the spear gold dots. This is all factory stuff. 64 grain gold dots. And this XM 193, it's the stuff you can get from PSA in the 1,000 round bulk boxes. It's, you know, just cheap range ammo. Some Fiocchi or Fiocchi, depending on who answers the phone at the time. 50 grain VMAX. So it's the ZMAX and the VMAX are the same thing. It's just different colored polymer tips.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then these are just, I forget what the actual designation, the green tips that they tried to ban because they were evil.
M855.
Yeah. And see that, you know, for a gun that'll shoot, you know, I think this is like 1.25 inches or so. Didn't really like it. And then the bottom row, this is all the, that 20-inch FN I built that has, or that PSA upper that has the FN premium barrel on it. All the same factory ammo. I think I put 3 here, 2 here for the 55 grain. Then it really did not like, for whatever reason, the 64 grain spears. It, you know, aiming here, shot way over here and really big. Seemed to not mind the M193. Didn't like the VMAX, and I don't know, green tips, it's kind of phallic looking.
I prefer to think of those 2 bottom ones as tits, not balls. Looks much better that way.
Well, no, I think if you had tits where your balls should be, it'd make walking a lot more inconvenient. Notice when loading.
Sexy says, I notice when loading 70 grain and higher projectiles, they start to crush the powder when I'm trying to
get overall length.
Trying to get overall length.
Yeah, I don't have.
A lot of bullets.
Yeah, here's I didn't load up any of the 70 grain. Or no, these are 75 grain gold dots. I didn't load any of them up because I had the one canister of powder open and I had it all set for doing my, you know, 20, 21, 22, etc., moving it on up. And actually, Matt, what I found, are you loading for an AR or a bolt gun? Because I actually think it was Johnny's reloading bench. It's a guy I got this trick from. So when sorting through brass, focus. Anyway, I had a case that had a crack in the neck, and instead of throwing it out or trying to make blackout brass out of it, I decided to take a file. Focus, you bastard. There we go. And widen it out a bit. And I'll just set a bullet lightly in there, put it in the action, and close the action on it. That should give you what your maximum overall length for that particular bullet is, because it'll either hit the it'll start hitting the lands on the rifling, or the lands will start tapering down enough to where it should push it in. You can kind of might be able to see that little faint line right above where the neck is. Well, and that should be your maximal, your overall length, unless you're trying to do AR-15. Yeah, then you're going to be limited to your magazine length.
Yeah, if you have a magazine, yeah. Another thing too that I've done. Well, I tried to do it with my 8mm, but the throat's so long you can't load a bullet too long. It doesn't happen. And you can't do it. But you can use Sharpie. If you take Sharpie and you color the outside of the bullet with Sharpie, and then just push it into the casing so that it sticks, and then chamber it, you'll be able to see that yeah, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a blackout eye.
Yeah, you'll be able to see where the land. Mm-hmm. You'll be able to see where it's touching and how much. Before Sharpies, and I guess the old timers they call it smoking a bullet, where they would light a candle and hold the bullet in the candle above the candle smoke, and it would get soot basically on the projectile, and then that's how they did it then. So, history of reloading. There you go. Reloading facts and history facts.
Well, everybody be able to load.
So yeah, that works. I tried to do that with my 8mm, and I couldn't get it to touch the damn lands. It's too far.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt, you might just have to find something that'll use. My deer is making a compressed load and destroyed.
Sphere.
Oh. I know Varget works a little bit better compressed or slightly compressed, but
yeah, I've heard that too.
Matt, you might just have to look to see, okay, the 223 has a certain volume it'll take, or a certain internal volume, and you might just have to go back in your manual and find, okay, is there something that takes 2 or 3 grains less powder to make the same velocity, and go from there.
A faster powder is going to take less powder, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you might be able to move up to a faster powder. I don't mess with a whole lot of different powders, honestly.
Otherwise, man, what you could do is, I know some guys, when they, if they're getting close to a compressed load, they'll take a funnel with a powder funnel that has a longer throat to it, not the funnel part where it actually tapers down, and that just slowly pouring it in kind of helps the powder to kind of stack a little bit better. Either that or just kind of give put your finger over the top of your case that you've charged and kind of just give it a little shake side to side.
Shake your ammo, just like they say at High Point.
So here's the question.
I have on hand is IMR powder. IMR makes a lot of different powders, Mad.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, IMR. So here's a question too. How come you're using such a heavy projectile? I mean, did you just buy them and you're trying to use them up, or what's the deal with that? Mad sexy. I mean, obviously, there's reasons that people have to shoot a heavy projectile, 70 or 74 grain or whatever.
Heavier projectile retains its energy longer.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's what I mean. But I mean, if he's just plinking, if he's just shooting, what's the reason for the 70 grainer?
Something to try. I mean, this box of 100 gold dots I picked up in Tulsa at a actual gun store for $20, which for actual gold, it's not bad. It's a pretty decent price for 223 projectiles. Mm-hmm. Some people I know.
Fellas, I gotta head out. I gotta get kids to bed and stuff. I don't know why they're.
See you, buddy.
Later, man.
Sorry. Have a good night.
Yeah, we're about shot here too.
Yeah, I think.
It's something new.
I'm trying to remember if it's the. I'm trying to remember which of the gold dot loadings spear tested down to a 7-inch barrel and still got reliable expansion on it. It's, you see something like, oh, hey, that bullet's twice the weight of the one I'm normally shooting, and there's load data for it, I wonder if how well it'll work with my rifle. Or some people live in states where, all right, like Minnesota, a legal deer cartridge is anything that's center fire ignition and has a bullet diameter of 222 or greater. So, someone might want to use their AR-15, their regular AR-15 to hunt deer because, as I've seen many times, you find the right load, they'll shoot dime-sized groups right along with your bolt gun. And they might just want to use something that's a little bit heavier than the 50 grain or the 55 grain bullets.
No, I get it. There's multiple reasons. I was just finding out from him, like, did he come across some buy 70 grainers and now he's like, oh shit, why did I buy these? He's trying to load for him.
What's he say? Something new to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My little Casson. Yeah, so
just tap him in with a mallet.
No
big deal. No big deal.
Yeah, it's
hammer him in there.
Well, just remember, Mad, start from the bottom and work your way up. Don't start from the top and work down. Or with one guy I know, start at the top and add 3 grains.
Was his name Keith? Elmer?
No, Elmer didn't do any. There was no max load for what he was doing. I mean, there was, which is the reason why I switched from 45 Colt to 44 Special, but it is what it is.
All
right. I also got to shoot my thumper of a 45-70. So,
cool.
That was fun. Yeah. Yep.
I never shot a 45-70. I'd like to.
Yep. Had the scope on it. It had already been sighted in a couple of years before. Shot my 10-inch target at 100 yards. Didn't see where it hit. Went up and looked at it. So I put a target at 50 yards. Yeah, shot right above the bullseye. Figured, okay. Shot the next 3. 2 of them went into almost the same hole at about like 10 o'clock or so, within like 1.5 inches of the bullseye. One after that was on the edge of the paper. Shot my next powder load up, and it just strung them horizontally all the way across the target. So, yeah, there you go. So, 4570 is loud. No, 4570 for a reloader is not quite a dual cartridge, but you can load them light to where it's the same power as a 44 Magnum revolver, or get some real heavy butt stomping 500 grain loads. So,
all right. Let's call it a night, huh?
Yeah, sure. Let me pull up the proper reading documents.
Got about 1 million tabs open here. Jesus, all these stories and shit we went through tonight.
Yeah.
We're down to 3.
Yeah, I think everyone bailed once I started talking.
Okay, we only got 19 watching, so you can
good. Quick, go. Let's get out of here.
All right, me or
Sure, go ahead. Glimdeck,
right.
You got anything going on? You got a shoot coming up, right? Or a training, right? Class?
Yeah, I got my training class next week. I got my trainer cert yesterday for active shooter. Shot steel today. I don't like that new 34 that I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like it because it made me jump up another class. I actually moved up. Damn gun shot too good. I kept trying to suck, but it wouldn't let me. Wouldn't let me suck. It kept shooting good. I'm like some bitch. So I want to move it up in the rank, and I'm like, oh, come on. But no, thank you for the invite. Try to have a quiet and happy-go-lucky weekend or week.
Ape, let her rip.
Alrighty then. Shameless self-promotions aside, ladies, gentlemen, and Joneses of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. Be sure to check out gunchannels.com for more Pro 2A content. Gunchannels.com is a community focused on firearms, built for shooters, by shooters, for conversations like this. This concludes our regularly scheduled programming, but we'll be back at 9 a.m. Eastern with the early watch, followed by open lobbies throughout the day. Gunchannel.com Monday night programming. Every day at 5 p.m. Eastern, it's Hasty Headlines with Never Enough Ammo. At 7 p.m. Eastern, it's the Polite Society podcast, only on Facebook. 8 p.m. Eastern, it's Clovertax MOA Monday on Instagram, and Hawaii Volcano Squad's Locked and Loaded on YouTube. At 9 p.m. Eastern, it's Never Enough Ammo, a.k.a. Mr. Matt's Guns and Geeks podcast, The Weekend Geek. At 10 p.m. Eastern, every other week, it's Intentionally Left Blank, and every weeknight at midnight Eastern, it's The Daily Gun Show. However, The Daily Gun Show may be on hiatus because G-Webs is currently on the road to the 2A rally in Washington, D.C. For cool and unique 2A swag, go over to gearwebsites.com. And remember, hot dog in a sandwich, Slim Jim is candy, and never eat fudge from a place called Uranus.
That's true. All right. Check out the rally. If you can get there, get there. If you can't, help somebody that can. Support somebody that can. Doesn't have to be monetarily. You can support people in many, many ways. And when people are there, if they're going live, check it out. I'm really, really excited to hear some of the speakers. I think that's going to be awesome. There's got some. Take a look. There's some really awesome people that are going to be doing some speeches. So that's something awesome to look forward to on a Saturday afternoon. So until next time, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Bye.
Shall not be infringed.
And I lost my
button.
End stream. There it is. Thanks, guys. Take it easy. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
See ya.